Oh, right, there's fucking spectator delay. God damn.
By LG.
We're currently starting in game one. Let me check what these team names are. It is Pega Squad versus Ashray's Assailants. Interesting names.
Right, and it is an exciting first game. We have currently the band going on the way. Right now we have on the team, which one is the blue team?
Blue's on the left.
Alright, but what's the team name?
I'm pretty sure that's Pega Squad. Yeah, it is. It's Pega Squad.
Okay, so Pega Squad, right now they have Misfortune Band, Grand Band, and a Moon Band, while on the other side, what's their team name again?
Ashray's Assailants.
And Ashray's Assailants on the right side, we have Ezreal Center and Lilia Band. Okay, so let's look at it right now. We have Misfortune Band on the Pega Squad, along with Grand, interesting diversity. I mean, you could say one's a jungle support and ADC. You think it's more of a comp issue that they ban them, or more like an individual athlete?
So, sorry, what did you just say? I was reading a DM. Did you ask me something?
No. Yeah. No, you're good. So right now I'm trying to understand more of why they're banning these certain characters. So like, looking at Ashray's Assailant, they have a good diversity of characters banned. I mean, they got Ezreal banned, then Senna, and then Lilia. While on the Pegas, they have Misfortune, Brand, and Amumu. I wonder why they have those characters banned of all. I mean, considering that Caius got Melio,
so
Melio is really susceptible to Amumu as a support.
Essentially what I'm expecting right now is that they're just banning the other team's one tricks, because
no one's gonna actually play meta. I mean, like, I say that, but I see Lucian Milio, so it's essentially just banning each other out. I mean, I expect that there's
a crazy Ezreal or Senna player or someone with like 100 million games on them on the other side, and the same with like the other bans. Though I do see, yeah.
Okay.
Then,
well, with that considering in mind, Melio and Lucian, you can call that meta. Lucian with the recent buffs, I mean, he's stronger than ever. But then you see something like Zyra and Nyla. I mean, unless Zyra's going like mid lane, then how does Zyra and Nyla work as a team comp? You'd think something like Lulu would go with Nyla.
yeah, I think the Zyra pickup was just, again, like a one trick, like, I'm gonna pick this every single game if you don't ban it type of thing. Because it doesn't really make sense in this with the Neela. I mean, Neela here actually kind of does make sense, because Lucian Milio's trade
patterns are usually just going to be Lucian dashing in with the Milio shield on, or Milio campfire under him, and Neela can dodge all of that. Like, So yeah, I would rather have seen, like you said, an enchanter on the other side with Neela. Something that can just neutralize Lucian Milio's very overbearing presence in lane.
Because the issue then is like, yes, Neela can stop Lucian's burst, especially with her W stopping a lot of Lucian's double attack damage, but then they can just jump on Zyra. And Zyra's an immobile champ, and as soon as they miss her E, then it should be over for Zyra when Lucian with the buffs from Milio jumps on her. Especially with the bonus attack range, Lucian struggles a lot of that really small attack range, but thanks to Milio, I mean, it dissolves that issue. And then looking down, it seems like if they had the junglers picked Maokai versus Sejuani. I know Maokai, I think Maokai's kind of meta right now, but Sejuani's kind of an overbearing pick over the years.
Yeah, I'm liking
Blue side's picks more. They synergize a lot better with each other. There seems to be this difficult to stream.
You can keep going.
Yeah, so we see definitely a whole lot more relevant picks in the Pepega squad side. We got Milio, Lucian, Maokai, and Ori, especially Ori. And then on the Ashrays assailant, we have Zyra, Neela, Sejuani, and Annie. Annie's a pretty strong pick right now. I mean, especially in a lower elo like Plat, it's pretty easy to use Annie, and it's harder for people who are not as high elo to be able to counter Annie in this situation. I wonder if, I'm assuming Aura is going to pick Cleanse in this matchup, but I don't know if she's going to go to aggression. Oh, and we much on that. While I think the game right now is really looking like they're trying to, for Pepega squad, to try and get Lucian really strong really fast. I mean, with Maokai, he can easily support Lucian and peel for him, and Jax as well. While on Astra's assailant, it seems a little mixed, to be honest. I mean, they have two range characters, two mages actually, Zyra and Annie, and then you have Sejuani and Neela and Dr. Mundo as their peel, and they're both hard tanks with lots of CC, except for Dr. Mundo, who doesn't really have too much CC at the moment. Trying to understand the team comps, looking at it right now, I mean, it seems like most definitely Pepega squad is a whole lot more aggressive in that sense, while Astra's assailant is going to be, in a sense, going a little bit more back-trodden in a team fight, but they can both still be the aggressors. It just seems like the early game, Pepega squad has a much stronger look at it. I mean, with Ori, Jax, and Lucian in play, they have a lot of good prowess and they have a lot of great pushing power, and he can easily match them, but Jax can probably keep up with Dr. Mundo. I think it really comes down to the bot lane at this point. It seems to be the only lane where there's a real hard, almost a counter in that sense, because as soon as Zyra misses her E, then it's time for Lucian to jump in, and I don't think Neela can dish out nearly enough damage to take out Lucian before Lucian takes out Zyra. It'll be an interesting look at what happens here.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't really know what to expect just yet. Definitely, I'm not sure if you said this, but yeah, Blue Side's comp looks a lot more composed and has one main idea that they want to go with, while Red Side's is a little more all over the place. They don't really think they have like a good carry. Like, they do have two definite like carries that are like in their roles right now, but I'm not sure if they can fill those shoes, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Neela has to be ahead in this lane for it to work. Even is fine, but I feel like it's going to be a little bit difficult with Lucian and Milio. If they both play around Milio or Neela's like thing, like I'm fairly certain this lane should go the way of Lucian Milio. It is their lane to win. They have to like screw up very hard for Neela and Zyra to even compete with them.
Right. And thinking about later in the mid game when skirmishes and team fights start get into play, the two biggest carries, at least range when it comes to the Pepega squad, is Lucian and Ahri. And if Neela, how does Neela expect to catch up with them when Jax is in the way? Maokai can stop her with his Q, and then Jax quite literally can dodge all of Neela's attacks, and just like Neela can dodge all of Jax's attacks.
Yeah, I mean, Blue Side's their damage is a lot more well-rounded. Like all their characters will be dealing damage, and I can't really say the same for Red Side. I mean, if Neela gets behind, that champ is like actually so worthless. It's very, very hard to come back.
Her limited range is really, really hard hitting for her. And
that too.
Buffs, then it gets harder.
Yeah, Milio will increase Lucian's range by like 100 or something.
Range, attack speed, give a fire burn effect on the enemy. I mean, it's crazy. It's a lot. I think another really interesting note is Lucian's summoner spells. I mean, he has Flash and Ghost. He seems to really just want to. It seems to either be kiting or
Ghost.
Chasing. Right. You don't see no Ignite, Exhaust.
I think the Ghost was predictive to match the Neela's Ghost, but she didn't go Ghost.
She went Exhaust.
Which, I mean, Exhaust is understandable. Lucian Milio is like one of the most high damage bot lanes that you can have right now. Let me change everything to match up. Yeah, nice. I mean, nothing seems to be going on right now. No one wants to invade.
I think, considering this is a Plat and under match, I'm saying that this game is going to last maybe about 30 minutes long. Because typically it's harder to capitalize on any things that they have, any mistakes that they have, and turn that into sieging effects like taking down turrets or getting Rift Herald.
You can see this ward placed here by Maokai. I'm not sure that's worth anything because, I mean, I guess he just wanted to get his red trinket, but in reality, like no one, Sejuani's not going to invade you.
Right.
If Sejuani's invading you, like something's wrong.
Right. Tank versus tank too. I mean, no one's going to kill each other. I think the other thing is like with that ward, I mean, maybe the other thing that he's trying to predict is maybe Annie trying to put a ward into the river bush.
Yeah, but I think a better ward would have been just like a ward on their buffs or a ward on either buff or maybe a raptor, just to see where Sejuani's starting.
Right, for sure. Looking at this, I mean, at the bot lane at least, it's very apparent that, I mean, the Lucian and Milio comp is just dominating already.
Yeah.
They already have the level 2 advantage, and it seems to not really stop there because how does, you know, let's say Caitlyn was in the matchup. Caitlyn can poke out Lucian due to her superior range, but Neela just about has the same range, I think, with Lucian. So how is she supposed to compete with someone like Lucian when now Lucian has superior range thanks to Milio?
Right.
And we're seeing just in general, Pepega squad seems to have a lot of pushing power for all of the lanes. So skirmishes is going to be very disadvantageous for them for the Astra's Assailant, and it looks like Scuttle is basically guaranteed. I see up on the top lane, Jax went in for an early recall.
Yeah, both solo laners went in for an early recall. Just wave 3 shove. A cheater recall, as they call it.
A cheater recall, I think that's a totally fine decision when it comes to mid lane because of how small the lane is, but in the top lane it's much longer, and so I'm worried that Jax may lose a little bit of XP, which can matter when it comes to that level difference for Mundo's poking power.
Yeah, but I don't really think that that's going to make too much of a difference because he comes back to lane with an extra longsword. That's the whole point of the cheater, is just to get an item advantage, a slight item advantage while Mundo has to shove in that wave. If he didn't, if Jax just held that wave there, Mundo would be forced to stay in lane. It's a little rough for him. The only time that you really can shut down Mundo easily is pre-6, so it's a little difficult now for Jax. I mean, actually, I might be wrong. Jax post first item is probably going to win out.
I think the issue though is that, you know, at least when it comes to the top lane, if Jax wants to do that cheetah recall, it probably would have been better if he attempted to freeze that lane as well. Because even though, yes, Jax did come in with, with a cheetah recall, we have Mundo was just able to push through, push the lane, and then recall himself. So how much of an advantage did Jax really get in the end?
Yeah. That's what I was talking about. Like, he should have just held the wave there.
Right. So now it seems like Jax is more at a disadvantage, at least when it comes to a little bit of mana, and Mundo is able to pick up an item himself. And now it's pushing back to him, and Mundo can ideally freeze the wave thanks to his superior poking power.
That is not appropriate for stream.
We seem to have a
they paused because their bot lane's lagging. Honestly, I think it's an excuse. I'm joking.
Oh, you're right about not being appropriate for stream. I think just with this pause now, I think an interesting thing is just both junglers in general agree on just having almost a full clear on their sides, except for their respective bottom lane side. And it seems like Sejuani's coming down. Maybe they're going to try and bait, but I don't know how the Sejuani's gank going to work because it's Nila's side is pushing up already. So unless they go for the aggressor.
What's going on here?
Oh, what the? Oh. I don't know. That was weird. Well, looking back at it, it seems like we went back. Yeah,
oh my god, Emilio
tries to go for a push, but it didn't seem very likely due to and Lucian goes for the advantage. He goes really aggressive all in. Nila gets to exhaust him, and Lucian pushes out. Maokai flashes. Zara gets the final kill. Lucian uses Ghost to kite out Sejuani. Can he make it out? But he uses a Q and it stops him, and Sejuani hits him with a W. Maokai tries to do enough damage. He's trying to delay time while Ari's coming up, but he looks like he's about to die, and he falls. Ari goes for a flash. EQ combo. No more mana to fight. And it seems to be like a really even trade. I think 2 for 3 actually. So that actually seemed to go really badly for Pepega's squad side because Lucian died first by going all in, and then Emilio died subsequently thanks to Zara's poking, and then he just cornered on Maokai.
Yeah, I mean, that fight was played very weird by the bot lane. I don't know. They should never lose an early skirmish like that, especially with a Maokai and Lucian Emilio. They just have so much more damage. I don't understand.
Yeah, but it seems like it's looking a little good right now because Lucian is able to hopefully freeze this lane because it's just Nila, and Maokai might be able to go for a gank. It's a 3v1. Nila is too far away from the E, gets the flash Q, pushes him back, but Lucian is way too far, and they're able to push back. Unfortunately, a wasted flash on Maokai. Always got the pressure, but it seems like it's useless at this point. They haven't done enough damage, but the good news is that it scared them away. So now Lucian and Emilio ideally are able to freeze, but unfortunately Lucian is now pushing up and they're able to get a lane. Do you think there was any way that Lucian and Emilio was able to punish them walking away by maybe freezing, or do you think it was too late due to the gank?
I think the Sejuani pulled the wave too hard. The freeze was a little shaky too. Or not the Sejuani, the Maokai pulled the wave a little bit. So the freeze was a little... It was already shaky. And as soon as they pulled the wave, they couldn't really...
And we see some quick damage. That Lucian Q hits both of them. He tries to go for a follow-up damage. And it seems like a really even trade. Maokai seems to be invading on the red team blue side. and they seem to be cornering all over Sejuani. Can Sejuani make it up there? They goes for the attack. Andy's going up, hits him with a stun. She might be ulting, but misses all of her attacks. Zyra goes for an EQ, misses. Maokai's going in, he goes in too far. Andy goes for the stun, kills him. Sejuani goes for the knock-up CC, they die. But Ori comes in, kills Sejuani, tries to follow with her ult, but doesn't. I'm assuming she doesn't have her cooldowns up, but she can't do anything about it. Seems to be a positive trade. It seems to be a one-on-one trade, actually. And interestingly enough, Jax is also, for some reason, in the mid lane. Jax is forced to use teleport to reach back into the lane. I'm assuming because he had nothing to do because of Mundo. Mundo's not really letting him do anything. Oh, but Jax goes in, go for a quick poke, mostly a negative trade, actually.
I don't really understand what the Maokai is doing right now. I mean, like, on that Scuttlecraft smite, he should have had 6 if he was farming normally, but every single one of his camps is up. I mean, he just took his red buff. His entire topside before that should have been cleared, and he would have 6.
Oh, and Neela goes for a combo. She hits her ult and hits both of them. Keeps approaching, but she has no follow-up. That Neela uses her W to just kite them away. That was a really nice burst by Neela, but she simply does not have any follow. With no exhaust or flash, she can't keep doing damage. But Zyra tries to go for an all-in, but misses her E, and so she could not lead up with the knock-up, and Lucian quite literally just walks away. Maokai hovers around, but Sejuani's also close by, and this might look like a dive for them. Sejuani's hovering in the river. Maokai's in the tri-bush. It seems like the bot lane side has decided to go to the Dragon blue for Ocean. Maokai is hovering, but it doesn't seem likely that that blue team is able to contest for this due to how low Lucian and Melio are comparatively. And I think the other issue is that, like, well, with Ocean Dragon really benefits Astra's Assailant. Probably the most important thing is that they have 2 tanks, and so that sustain really helps them. And also in lane, that extra regen and mana regen is extremely helpful, especially when it's really drawn out fights where it's really a battle of attrition. And now looking at this, it seems like Neela and Zyra are actually dominating this lane so far. They're pushing out Lucian, hitting him with quick combos, and now they're hard pushing. There's nothing really Melio can do except maybe do a little bit of poke. And it seems like Mundo's keeping Jax on his toes as well. I mean, that health advantage is very apparent.
Yeah, Jax needs his first item to be any useful
Jax
at
goes
all.
for an all-in. Maokai tries to go in. Mundo ults and tries to kill Jax. Jax is going for an all-in, but Jax is simply too low health, and Mu's able to continue with his burst. I mean, it's this. These fights don't make sense to me, and I'm saying this because in every fight I've seen Maokai get into, it seems like Maokai bursts his whole combo, and then his follow-up is so weak, but I don't think that's very well understood. And as a result, we have these forced, prolonged fights that Maokai and other characters simply don't want to be in.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I feel like this Maokai is just... he's shivering in his boots or something. I don't know what's going on. Because there are so many things. I mean, the top side play there was correct. I feel like it was a mistake on Jack's part to continuously take damage.
Right, he just kept them pushing up.
Yeah, they knew like Sejuani was going to be on her back, so as soon as the top side play free Herald. Oh, someone disconnected. I mean, something's brewing here in the Herald pit. I'm not sure if they know exactly what's going on, what HP the Herald's at.
Oh, and Sejuani pushes in, misses her Q, but hits the W, and he goes for a double all-in flash. Oh, W kill, tries to not get bursted by Ori and Jax. She dies, but Sejuani should hopefully get this kill. Mundo's coming in. Did they get the hill? She hits him with the ult. Ori tries to run away, but it's too late. The damage is too high. He dies by the red buff. Lucian goes for the all-in, just point blank ults all over Neela, and it's over. Zyra is trying to run away, but Lucian with the ghost EQ does enough damage and gets a free double kill.
I think it paused. But yeah, I mean, that damage, that's the power of Lucian Milio, especially with the small slight gold lead like this. Before that fight, I think they were about 600 gold up
Oh, wow.
That's a little bit. That's just like, you know, like a long sword and some change.
Right. And looking at the sums alone, I mean, it looks like even Neela exhausted Lucian, but it simply just wasn't enough. It wasn't even close as a fight.
Yeah.
And it seems like the comeback is getting real. I mean, that was a huge comeback. Lucian is now a whole level up on Neela, and I'm assuming Neela didn't use ult at that time, and that was probably one of the bigger issues at play here.
Yeah, I mean, weirdly enough, in that lane specifically, like the Neela needs the Zyra to actually poke out both of them before Neela can even like touch them because of how much damage they have.
But that can be so hard because with Emilio's W and Lucian's E, it's so hard for Zyra to even hit her E in the first place. They're not low mobility champs. And just looking at the top lane now, Mundo seems to be really hard hitting on Jax, just constantly poking him down. And as a parent, there's a lot of tower playing money for Mundo.
I don't know what's going on with this Neela build. This is obviously Gale Force first, but she's forgetting a lethality stick.
Right. Typically you go lethality first, right?
Yeah, you just go like the, what's it called, serrated Dirk, because Neela as a champ is lacking like a lot of damage early on. That really helps out with like, not even talking about like just fights. Like it helps out with wave clear. It helps out with so many things. Like that lethality stick is extremely important for a Neela build.
Right, compared to a Zeal first buy, I mean, Neela needs the attack speed, yes, but she much more needs that AD.
Yeah, I mean, she'd also much rather just have Berserker Greaves. It's the same price, but it's a lot more value in terms of stats. The move speed is much more apparent than, or much more prevalent than a little bit of crit chance that's not going to matter.
Right. And then I'm assuming the only thought process I could think of why they bought Zeal first is because Neela is trying to rush it to get Gale. Oh, and they seem to have a pod.
I think it's just because that's the most expensive item Neela could buy, and she couldn't afford BF Sword.
Yeah, or boots. I mean, Zeal is 1050.
I mean, yeah, it's just for some reason she didn't want to buy tier 2 boots. Well, tier 2 boots is one of the strongest, one of the biggest spikes Neela can have.
Right. Well, right now it's, I mean, we have, it seems like it's almost a 2k cold advantage going up on the Ashray's assailant side with 2 kills up on them as well. An entire Rift Herald and a Dragon. And so while the bot lane for Neela isn't doing well, the whole rest of the team is doing amazing. In fact, it looks like they're aiming to scale. If you look down, so Sejuani has a Heart Steal, and it seems like Mundo's quick to follow up. So it really seems like it rests down onto the Lucian bot lane side to try and carry this game.
Jackson's backing right now. I wonder how much gold he has. Oh, he has more than enough to buy a Sunder now. I think he should start winning this matchup soon.
Can we check that gold again? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, Lucian is rich. Lucian has a whole almost more than 1,000 gold advantage over Neela. And that's not just talking about CS.
This is definitely Lucian's game to carry. I mean, we saw the Ahri, she was playing well. Hopefully the top side of the map can pick it up. I mean,
my main worry. I mean, the good news is that, I mean, Jax and Maokai both scale relatively well along with Ahri. But otherwise, I mean, all of Maokai's skirmishes have been not good so far. It's always typically led to a deficit, and so that's led to this predicament they are right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Zyra's gold, like her gold lead, those 2 kills. I mean, I feel like it does not matter that she has it, because this game, I don't think any of those champs on the other team, other than maybe Milio, Zyra is just a bad matchup to all of them, so I'm not sure.
Right. She's really susceptible to their movement speed, and it's hard to keep them stuck because of how high mobility they are.
Yeah.
Oh, and the game has started again. We've seen mid lane is just pushing each other. Jax is forced to recall. He gets a Sunder, so he's able to keep up a whole lot better against Mundo, but Mundo still has that superior poke advantage. He has a whole item on Mundo, but Mundo is right now recalling for Heartsteel. It seems
a bad dragon call. Mundo's gonna TP straight into the, just like straight into them.
Right, there
Because-
seems to be a quick contest, and I mean, look
Yeah.
at this positioning in and of itself. Maokai is stuck in that dragon pit, and no one seems to be supporting him unless Maokai wants to flash, but he has no flash. It sounds like he's trying to rush for dragon, and he takes
Oh,
dragon. His death is worth it for such a disadvantaged looking skirmish. He got it.
he's got the smite. He's got the fast hands.
Yeah, and Jax goes for punish and tries to take tower, but unfortunately, because there's no tower planning, it isn't too great an advantage other than taking down a tower and opening up the.
Thanks so much.
Oh, no. No.
Oh, Ari, dash away. Oh, she could live that.
She could have lived that, but she just didn't dash away to Annie's enraged Tibbers. That was such a good catch by Ari, but Annie's damage is just so high at that point. And then Sejuani goes in to try and take down the tower. Maokai tries to match up. I mean, it really seems like it is really Lucian's game. You're right. I mean, other than that, every other lane is dominating on Ashray's assailant side. Look at that. Even with and Jax tries to go for some more damage, but even with Divine Sunder, it doesn't seem like he can do much to Mundo, much at all. His burst is too high, and it's hard for Jax to even stick on Mundo due to his passive. And looking at the river side, Sejuani might be looking for a gank, but Maokai's on the red side as well, tries to push in. Maokai might be trying to help out, but last time we saw this fight, it didn't go out well. And now Sejuani's coming in, she goes on the burst, Mundo might be following up. Maokai has no real escape unless he uses phase rush.
He just
But that
needs
stun
to
is too
phase rush
crazy.
out.
And he tries to
Oh.
flash away, Sejuani hits him with the ult, and then Mundo follows up, EQ combo. Maokai tries to stop him, but the root is just not enough against Mundo. You cannot stop Mundo. Mundo might be going for an all-in, he goes for the Q, takes some damage, and he flashes, misses him.
Oh.
A brute. I'm assuming Annie forgot to account for Maokai's sudden phase rush and miscalculated from there.
I mean, Neela just came back to lane with like her soon. Hopefully make a play around the next Herald. They're just bring their bot lane up because that's the only lane that's actually ahead, other than mid, of course. But hopefully they're bringing their bot lane up so they can actually start fighting, taking some even fights.
Right. Oh, and it seems like they're going into the mid lane, maybe trying to open up the mid lane map.
Everybody has their ults.
Aggressive.
This looks pretty good for Blue
This
side,
is
if
a
I'm being
game,
honest.
but in a skirmish, I'm worried Lucian might get caught out. Lucian has no form of stopping himself from getting, stopping his CC other than Melio's ult, and that requires some coordination. And I mean,
Just
on
dodge. You know, he has Ghost. You just, I mean, obviously Annie has the point and click CC, but
right. Oh, and Zyra gets caught out. Maokai goes for a quick burst, and that's a free pick for them.
Yeah.
Not only that, 300 gold back to the blue side, which seems to be good for the comeback. And looking at that, I mean, they seem to be doing the exact game plan. They're trying to open up the mid lane tower. That is huge for blue side, right? They have a lot more mobility in the map, but it seems like looking at the map, look at those two big tanks on the left side. They might be closing into these three guys, and they're so squishy. Oh, he tries to go for some quick damage, but it just does nothing to Mundo. Oh, and they try and catch out Mundo with no passive, but Mundo ults. Lucian tries to go for some damage, but Mundo is just so tanky. I mean, you saw that. No damage, simply not enough. And now if they try and go in for a skirmish, it might be really bad. Lucian has a huge ult, and now it's gone. Lucian tries to go for some damage, but Mundo is just so tanky. I mean, you saw that. No damage, simply not enough. And now if they try and go in for a skirmish, it might be really bad. Lucian has a huge ult, and now it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, with Mundo gone, this Herald should be free. I don't imagine with their bot lane being bot side, like they can even contest that. Yeah, they just take it. And Sejuani has ult here. She should be looking for a pick.
Oh, but Sejuani might be going for Maokai. She hits him with a W. Maokai tries to go for the ult and dodges and just simply walks out.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's the power of Maokai. You can just walk away.
See, but that's the thing that doesn't make sense. Why doesn't Sejuani just ult Maokai? It's a free pick and it's an extra 300 gold on the red team side.
Yeah, that too. That's what I
don't know. So they're not being exactly too proactive. Because
Right.
Maokai, like, he doesn't have any tank stats right now. All he has is HP.
Oh, and Aru goes for a quick combo. Ult E's, go for the stun, and Maokai takes the kill.
Maokai, why?
But the good news that this does open up mid lane. Maokai goes for a Herald, and they seem to be pushing. It seems to be so prevalent. Jax tries to stop him, but with Mundo's passive, it simply doesn't work. I don't know if Mundo can stop this. He has no ult. Maokai goes for an Q.
Oh, the Herald.
Lucian goes for damage. Ari goes for it, and that's a kill. But Neela and Sejuani stop pulling up. Neela tries to go kill. Misses her ult. She keeps chasing down Lucian, but he's too fast. So Sejuani goes for the power play, and Maokai dies.
But it's now a 4v2. Jackson was on combo on Neela. Neela has no W. She tries to go for him. Sejuani tries to go for the kill, but she dies before her W comes out and kills Lucian. And that is the power of a really, really fed Lucian. I mean, as shown already, red team was just already so ahead, but Lucian is just so slippery right now. And looking at that build, Lucian intends to stay slippery.
Yeah.
My original worry was that, going against...
Smart decision. I mean, Navori allows you to just keep spamming your abilities so long as you have enough mana. What I do like, though, is that Ari went Leandri's here, which is a very nice,
Also good.
nice little build. I mean, everybody on their team, on the enemy team, builds at least a little bit of HP, and Ari's, like, while she wants to go for the backline, yes, the Leandri's does leave her able to at least DPS just a little bit.
Right, and it also helps counter the tanks a whole lot more too, especially with 2 heart steals. I believe it does max HP percentage damage.
Yeah, I mean, they're not building any magic resist. I mean, you see the Merc treads, but there's... I assume that they're just going for more armor. Like the Sejuani with the giant spell, that doesn't really build into any magic resist. The Kindle Gem could build into a Spirit Visage for Mundo.
Especially with the healing, but that's not too bad. I think that's 40 magic resist, or maybe 60, but actually 60 sounds like a little bit too much.
It seems like now, thinking about that, blue team has really kept up on their toes, and now they're on a kill advantage. In fact, on a gold advantage entirely. That one team fight was so devastating. Can we talk about that previous team fight? I mean, Mundo got picked out at the beginning. A literal tank got picked out with first a knockback by Maokai, and then another knockback by the Rift Herald.
Oh yeah, that was
Hilarious, honestly.
And with that, it instantly turned into a 4v5.
I think the main thing that happened was that before the TP, Jax popped Mundo's shield, so like his passive went down on like a 30-40 second cooldowns. Like he couldn't do anything about it.
Right, and Mundo, yes, he goes where he pleases. Oh, and Sejuani goes for a power play. Q W's. So Zyra tries to go for an all-in, but isn't able to hit it because Ari simply ulted out.
Yeah,
so
it's too slippery. They have no real, like, I got you CC, except for like Annie and yeah, Sejuani's ult, but like Sejuani could still like feasibly miss it because everybody just has dashes or dodges or something like that.
Right. Oh, and Sejuani goes for a quick QW damage, but it doesn't seem to do much on
either side. I think just thinking back to that team fight as well, I mean, the other issue is just the movement of the whole team. right? Because, you know, when Mundo died, it then came onto, then everybody, Lucian and the team, went back together as four. Then I think Sejuani, Annie, and Neela try to go up and tries to burst them all down. It almost works, but it unfortunately fails, and then Maokai gets picked out, and then they simply take out everybody else later on.
Next Dragon's coming up very soon, within the minute. Everybody should be playing around Vision. Milio is a little bit too far back. There's no way that he could get any deep vision right now, even though I feel like blue team should be easily like the aggressors.
But it seems like they might be aiming more for Baron at the moment, or maybe not actually. But I wonder why Milio isn't trying to ward around Dragon.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. They should be. I mean, blue team right now should just be posturing around Dragon. This game's obviously going to Soul. No one's budging an inch.
Right. In fact, they haven't even gone that red.
Yeah, I mean, if they're really gonna do the Baron, like they're giving Soul Point. This is a very weird call. At least they got the mid priority before
this, so even if they lose, they're not gonna get pushed in.
Right, but they're doing the damage. It might not be a good call because they have the burst. Oh no, but it's too late. So Sejuani misses ult. They shouldn't be going in. I mean, Mundo has damage, but they're just pushing back. And he might go for a flash. Here goes for an ult. Milio cleanses. Lucian ults, but they simply don't. Red team simply can't find any A's. But Sejuani goes for a QW, tries to go over focus. Jax is sustaining through his Q, but he cannot take the damage from Neela. Neela goes for a quick shutdown. Ollie tries to go in, but gets CC. Then they get another kill. That's 2 kills down, 2 shutdowns. That's really big for red team.
That's so sad. Red team gets the best of 2 worlds. Actually, not the exact best because they don't get the Baron, but they're put on Soul Point, and they really don't care if they have 3 members with Baron. What are they gonna do with it?
I mean,
right. Red team has big power of this dragon. It's the 3rd dragon. What is Maokai? Lucian already uses ult. Milio already.
Maokai has flash, no smite though.
He might be able to take this. I mean, is he willing?
Nah, no smite. Can't. Just can't.
I don't know about that Baron call, to be honest. Because, like, yes, they were running away from, like, Baron, and they could have tried to fight back, but I'm pretty... Baron lowers all the defense in the north. Like,
yeah.
They were at the disadvantage.
It's not bad because it's not the worst thing you can do because they have a Maokai which can delay their red team's engage by like 2 seconds, but I don't understand why they were fighting. I guess because Milio got a good ult, like they were a little hyphy, but I think they were a little bit too.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? Because Neela with his W and ult, they should have just disengaged from that fight. There was no need to fight that out, especially because as you saw, Jax got cut out and died, and Ari tried to go in, try to go for a pick, but the CC from the 2 tanks was too much.
Yeah, I mean the main thing with blue team's comp is that they don't want to take fights where all 5 of red teams like just grouped on top of each other. They don't have.
5v5s are bad.
Yeah, like 5v5s aren't necessarily bad. They just need to like be able to pick someone out before, or like in the middle of a fight. They just need to focus on one guy. Something like that, where they're all just deathballing red team. It's very, very hard. So they don't really have any good sources of AoE. Mainly, it's just a single target.
Oh, and Sejuani tries to go for a hard steel stack, maybe go for a stun, doing some quick damage, but Zyra goes for the follow-up, free EQ ult. First time ult gets hit, Jackson goes on Annie. Maokai runs away and tries to go put on, but he gets CC. Maokai goes back and goes for damage. Mundo might be going for the kill, but tries to disengage. Goes for Jax. Jax tries to get Annie. And Jax could not go for the kill. Gets killed. Nyla goes for an ult. Ups it too. Instantly dies, but Maokai dies. Mundo's fall. He tries to go for a pick on Zyra. Where is she going? Because Lucian needs help now. They seem to disengage, but now Ari, she doesn't see that Sejuani Mundo pulling up. Ari is not going to be able to win this fight, especially with no more mobility. And he pulls up. Ari might be able to get this kill. Lucian gets the kill, gets bursted down. Mundo and Sejuani are able to successfully get the kill, but Mundo misses the Q, and they're able to simply just run away. A 5v5, which was mostly a contested, a lot of 1v1 quick skirmishes and bursts, turns up into this. The 2 tanks living on the red side, and Lucian and Milio living on the left side.
If they play this right, they can actually fight. I'm fairly certain Lucian has enough damage. Yeah, he bought the LDR. This is definitely winnable.
Yeah, I mean, they can definitely challenge this.
They only have like a couple more seconds to take this. But...
Yeah.
It seems like, I mean, blue side seems to be really backing down. So just thinking about that fight, the first thing that comes to mind is Jax going really ham in that fight. I mean, he was all inning as much as he could.
I think the other interesting is that I don't know if you saw, but in the game chat, Sejuani bought a Warmog, which is really interesting. I mean, it's not like blue team has amazing poke, so I wonder why she got Warmogs instead of like Abyssal Mask or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, actually, Abyssal Mask is a good call out. It's not a bad buy here. They have three
actually magic damage sources that would like it, and
Oh, and they're trying to go up to some real pressure. It seems like Lucian is much more playing on the back end now. I mean, I think he's building a rapid fire cannon now. It's interesting. I don't know what other options you could possibly get at the moment.
No, I mean, rapid fire is a good option. He gives it adds 75 more range on top of Melio's like
increased range. It should be around like 120 plus 75 right now, like an extra 200 range. Like that's pretty good.
Right. Quick ward miscommunication. We see 2 wards in the dragon pit.
Still relevant though, because I think when is Dragon coming up? Seems like everyone's crowding around it at the moment.
should be within the next 30-40 seconds.
Oh, and it seems to be Lucian and Melio go for a questionable recall. Maybe they think they have enough time, and with the portals, they can definitely make it.
I mean, yeah, if it's 40 seconds, they should be able to make it. They do have decent vision right now, and no one's really contesting it for some reason. No one has red trinket up. Zyra has red trinket up, so they should be clearing wards. They should be moving and clearing wards soon.
Right.
But...
Their team is really playing on the defensive here.
Yeah.
Oh, and Ori Max goes for a pick. Neela tries to go for a W. She dodges Nyla Ori's ult, but gets picked out. She might be able to burst them out. So Sejuani misses her ult, so Annie misses her ult, and they're trying to chase down Ori, but Ori tries to go down. Annie follows through, leads too much, and gets chased down. That's a free kill for Lucian, and Ori's able to run away. I don't know if Sejuani, it seems like, why are they committing so hard for these kills?
Sejuani's not going to be there for drag, so now blue team just gets her for free. That's your soul, man.
Jax goes for an all-in against Mundo. It doesn't seem very favorable at all for Jax's side, to be honest.
Yeah, Jax doesn't have Grievous Wounds, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no Grievous Wounds at all against Mundo.
Oh, and I
find that extremely weird. No one on their team bought Grievous Wounds versus Neela and Mundo.
Right. So they try and go for some pressure, but they don't have any damage. That's the issue. Zyra is the closest thing to damage, but I think maybe they're looking for a pick. But Maokai retakes it, and Mundo looks like he's quick to fall unless he escapes with that.
Look how fast that Lucian is.
Just so quick.
Yeah, no.
That play might have been worth it if they were able to take down Dragon and get Soul for themselves, but now looks like a free Baron for blue.
Yeah. And even if they died for Soul, this would just be a guaranteed Baron for blue side. So Soul might not have been worth it. I mean, it is Hex Soul, so they could stall the minion waves and their push with it, but not sure exactly dying for Soul there was worth it.
Right, a simply uncontested fight, and it's not just one dying; they all died.
Oh yeah,
which also doesn't make any sense. There's no need for Mundo or Zyra to hover over there.
It's very difficult for red side to steal Dragon because they have to position around like the backside of Dragon Pit usually, like conventionally for a Dragon steal.
Right.
And that's just blue side's territory, right? They have everything warded. They'll know it's coming. He should never be able to steal it.
Ori seems to go for some quick damage. Oh, I mean, it's not too much, and if
that
can just easily heal all
that deep ward there by Sejuani does not make any sense. You're never gonna have any information because they have Baron. You're gonna be pushed up to like your tier 2s. That information is never gonna be useful at all.
it seems like that it's an uncontested Baron at the moment. They're just pushing in for free. It seems like they're waiting on Jax, and maybe on the top side they cause some pressure on the side lanes. Oh, and Sejuani might be going for a power play. Misses her Q though. And you see on the bot lane side, Jax is causing some real pressure. I mean, what are they gonna deal with it?
Yeah, I
Defending
mean,
against Sejuani.
you see like both of these two waves right here and here being pushed in right now. I feel like blue side, yeah, they're just playing around. They're just 1-3-1ing right now. They should be playing around, you know, getting the other two tier 2s. I can't imagine the red side also matches their 1-3-1. I don't think it's very feasible. No one can 1v1 Ari, no one can 1v1 Jax. They just need to pick something and like stick with it. You need to fight with numbers right now.
Wani goes for an ult, but Lucian flashes, Emilio ults, Zyra runs away, Maokai ults, Jax goes for a quick combo, takes out Zyra, and the pressure on bot lane keeps continuing. It is mounting up.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that pushing down in the mid lane by red team side was kind of good because it stopped that main 3 push, but on the 1-1 side on the top and bottom lane, I mean, it's free tier 2 towers.
Yeah. That's an extra, what, like a 1.5k gold just swung over.
Right, and now it's really uncontested. I'm surprised that Johnny's even trying to fight Jax at the moment.
Look at that, Jax scaled.
Stays winning.
I mean, Jax
Now
is
it's just-
stacking magic resist, which does make sense. Neela's the only AD threat, and
Neely's
like,
so
yeah,
far
she's
behind.
so behind. She's literally just like throwing around nothing.
Right, and they get both of the inhibitors from mid and bottom lane. They're quick to take the top lane as well if they keep up with this pressure. That's typical.
I think at this point, red team just needs to like, just if they're gonna allow 1-3-1, they need to just pick one lane and run with it. Just because their team is so good at engaging, like they have. I mean, hopefully, next engage, Annie will have flash, and so will Sejuani. They just flash on the nearest guy, and hopefully Emilio doesn't cleanse everything.
And that's the issue, right? The red team side has so much CC, and that's great, but Milu is such a good disengage. He can Q Sejuani away from her Q. He can use ult to stop all those CC, and he can use W to kite them away. I mean, Milu is really doing a lot for the team.
Yeah, on this dragon, the mid and bot lane should be pushed in, but just naturally by the supers. They realistically, like, blue team should just be, you know, placing aggressive wards down, maybe in lane near their inhibitors, or in the entrances of the jungle, and just stick there and like pray for someone to come like this.
And Sejuani goes for some quick damage. Now is dishing out, but she gets caught up by Ori. Ori's burst is too high, takes out Zyra and Mila. And Sejuani messes up her Q. Annie bursts down Ori, but with the Zhonya, she gets died.
I think that should be the game.
That should be game. I mean, Mundo, there's no chance Mundo's winning this fight. With Sunderer and Jax pulling up with all this, he's not going to do enough damage to Mundo.
Look at him just
And
smack
they-
him.
Right, and it looks like Mundo is able to sustain himself, but that's simply not enough. He can't stop the entire fight.
If he had Grimace wounds there, it just gets insta bursted.
Right.
Yeah, this game should be wraps.
I mean, maybe if Andy makes a crazy power play, but it's simply not enough. Jax's damage is just absolutely crazy. And then Mundo tries to go for a kill. I mean, this game is over.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of this is unlucky on the red side. Their bot lane kept disconnecting, but also
It's very, very. Pairing the Neela with the Zyra just doesn't make sense at all. So she can't. She doesn't have any chance to flourish.
Right.
Okay. What elo are you, by the way?
Give me a second. Do you mind like keep speaking? Apparently you were quiet.
Oh,
No, but it's something on my end. So
blah blah. You want me to like blah blah blah,
yeah.
blah 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 blah, 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 blah blah
All right, that's
blah.
enough. That's enough. Hold on.
Also, just a note, you're totally fine with me, talking about the play by play that's happening right now, but you want me to be.
God damn, how much do I need to boost you?
I mean, let me see if I can make my mic.
No, because that'll affect how I'm hearing you.
Oh,
Yeah.
is this better?
Alright, yeah, just keep speaking for a little bit.
Hello, 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 hello.
Alright. See how it is on stream.
What's your rank, by the way?
Oh, sorry. I never answered. I hit D1 last year.
Oh, Jesus Christ, my bad. And when's the last time you played?
Oh, I'm the Academy ADC for UT.
What? You gonna drop that on me?
Don't worry about it. gonna show this lobby soon-ish.
All right, just tell me.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Okay. Alright, we're on. Wait, we're not on stream yet, though.
Okay.
Okay, no, we're on stream. We're good. Okay, Milio ban. I think they were watching the last game.
Well, looking at this, we are finally back into the next game with blue team versus red team. We see first Emilio ban. Yeah, Emilio, in my opinion, is still outrageously busted.
True, very true. That champ is not fair.
Right? I mean, you have a little that can remove CC from everybody in your team. 2 charges of a shield that also boosts movement speed, by the way, I think. And then the W, which is just a huge healing and attack range. That's ridiculous. And his Q is just a really good disengage.
Yeah, I mean, the main issue I have with that champ is that it just does so much fucking damage. Or sorry, freaking damage. Like it's just not fair. Yeah, paired with Lucian, like it's so disgusting. Another Senna ban. Feel like there's just a Senna player on the other team, but I haven't checked. Yorick ban. I mean, they're obviously, it just looks like they're banning one tricks here. Anivia ban, Kaisa ban, Yorick ban. Like these are not meta champs. They're all just like they're just targeted. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not.
I mean, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
It's one tricks in this elo is scary still.
Yeah. It's still. I mean, it's comfort over meta in this area. So it's whatever you're good on. Like that's what you should be picking.
For sure. And you know, is Jinx still meta? I don't remember. I mean, ever since the Stormrazor nerfs.
She's okay. She's in a decent spot. She did get nerfed a little bit ago, but that wasn't too bad. I think it was like overall like just a little bit of attack speed shaved off of her levels. And I think she got that nerf twice, but yeah.
Did they ever nerf? Oh, they did. Okay.
Ezreal Yumi. I'm not exactly liking this. Usually you want to pick Ezreal Yumi into a lane that like is looking to absolutely murder you, and Jinx is not one of those lanes. Nautilus is again, I'm not really liking this pick either because Ezreal just dodges Nautilus so easily.
Right. Hey, I mean, at least they didn't pick Blitzcrank, because at least when it comes to Nautilus, Ezreal still feels the like push, the like pulling in thing.
Yeah, you still have the point and click ult, but I'm not sure how much that really realistically matters. I wanted to see another enchanter out of their support, but
right, it would have been a really boring bot lane, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you pick Ezreal Yumi, what else are you gonna do other than like snooze, right?
Right. And on the mid lane, ooh, we got a lot of different picks, all of them AP though. Seemingly really stuck on the Orianna, however, a control mage.
I'd actually like to see, I mean, another control mage in the mid lane. There's nothing really here. Ezreal Yumi could still save their comp if they just choose to scale. They have to choose one kind of idea. Like Ezreal Yumi, like they force their team to like never play around bot side essentially.
Right. To be fair, Yumi is still a really good pick, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Rammus Yumi, that's really strong. Oh, Maokai jungle.
It's again. Okay, yeah. Technically, it is a flex pick. You could put it top lane, but
not common, but it's still possible.
Again, I'm not really liking the Nautilus pickup here. I feel like it just doesn't make sense.
Right.
So far, like there's nothing you're gonna hook, and even in lane, like you only got one target to hook, and he has a flash on the cooldown. You know what I mean? He has flash as an ability.
And we see the bans happening again. Once again, it seems like
A Gwen ban.
main ban, a Gwen.
Actually, that could just mean that they're gonna pick tanks in top lane. So they want to make sure that they don't really have a counter to that.
Right.
Which I do like this ban if they're actually thinking about putting like something like the Scion in the top lane or something along those lines. Yeah, Malphite ban is perfectly fine too. If they ban Gwen, Malphite is usually a good pick for them because Gwen then can just Malphite can just free scale and like freely live his life. Rek'Sai ban.
And I'm also seeing a Rek'Sai ban, and I can see that being relevant because ever since Rek'Sai got those huge buffs, because no more Prowler's Claw, right? Without that, Rek'Sai is half the champ.
I do feel like in the context of this champion select though, the Rek'Sai ban isn't too great because like you're never getting on top of Ezreal unless he just missteps. He just fucks up. Like you're never really getting on top of Ezreal, and Maokai can still take a little bit of a fight with you and just run away with Phase Rush. So, but I mean, if their jungler like plays a lot of Rek'Sai, it's not a bad ban. Obviously, like these guys aren't super high ranked; they're not gonna play perfectly all the time.
And now we see a set play. This could be mid or top. Still a flex pick. Still.
Yeah, but I'm leaning more towards. I don't understand why they didn't give their top laner last pick. That doesn't make sense to me. Because their mid laner is already Orianna, unless the set's going mid, which that also doesn't make sense in my opinion.
Kale
and Ivern.
You know what? I can kind of mess with this pick because with Nautilus, he can act as a tank. Sure, he's not looking for an exciting bot lane, but in the late game with Kale and Jinx, it's really good scaling.
Yeah, the main thing is that Ivern really likes a melee champ in the top lane because of his shield. Something that can like stick on top of the enemies. Historically, something like old Prowler's Claw with Renekton was like a very nice combo with Ivern. You just slap that shield on them, and like they really just can't do anything about like 1200 range Renekton. Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, it is set top for some reason. They last picked the Annie.
A last pick on Annie. I mean, it's just two control mages. Orianna definitely has the range advantage here against Annie, thanks to her Q. But with Set versus Kale, that's an interesting matchup. Set can definitely dominate level 1, but otherwise, Set doesn't have too much mobility to catch up to Kale.
Yeah, I mean, Set should just, in the early levels, should just be focusing on Kale's HP over CS, in my opinion. I don't think CS is really going to make too much of a difference. If she's missing CS, if you're missing CS, just make sure she's also missing CS, if that makes sense.
Right. I think the more important matter there is an XP lead, right? You don't want to stop Kale from getting ranged as much as possible.
Yeah,
Set can do that.
As Set, you want to be standing in between her minions and her tower, and just just watch her writhe in pain, if that makes sense.
Right, and Set with his passive, and if he in the case he gets Doran Shield, none of Kale's Qs or Es are going to do much to him. He's just going to regen it all back. There's a lot of pressure that Set can apply, but we have to wait and see if he actually applies that on Kale. I think the other thing is that although yes, Set has a lot of pressure, Ivern and Kale have a pretty good opportunity to do a lot to Set, right? On that disengage.
Yeah.
Or even a 2v1.
I expect bot lane summoners to look something like Jinx going Ghost and Ezreal Yuumi going actually, they don't even need to go defensive summoners, but I expect they do because, you know, it's Ezreal Yuumi. Like, you can't really take anything else. And they don't... The blue side doesn't really have a proactive jungler. They have Ivern. So even dives don't really look that good until level 6 when you have Daisy.
Uh-huh.
And especially, but even at level 6, Maokai can easily respond with an ult, and
Mhm.
his ult will just completely screw up the blue side dive if anything happens.
Let's not forget, looking at this game seems to definitely have some sort of team comp in mind, right? I mean, blue team or the left side, I think that's red team, or whichever one has Kale in it. That is a very defensive and looking to scale comp, right?
Yeah, it's blue side, by the way. Just letting you know.
Oh, blue side.
Yeah.
Red side, on the hand, is really, really aggressive. We see the Annie, Maokai, and Set.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be playing the red side here. They're going to definitely be playing around their top side, top and mid, especially. Mid, if they get their mid laner ahead, she can just run the map. There's nothing really the other team can do about it. If mid lane gets ahead, bot dives are very easy. Maokai and just Yumi tanking, and then if Yumi gets off tanking duty, then it's Maokai, and then Maokai can easily just W and get rid of tower aggro easily. Like I feel like red side's comp makes a little bit more sense than blue side's comp, because it just feels like the Ivern's not like Ivern's identity is like perma fighting. Like he wants to be able to keep up his like melee carries, or like even range carries too. It just like Iron Shield's not gonna have much value this game, it feels like.
Not even his Q's gonna have that much value because it brings them to attack speed range. But why would someone like Jinx want to get close to someone like Set?
Yeah, I mean, they do have a little bit of pick potential with Nautilus, Ivern, and Orianna. Just you know, perma CCing someone, but I don't really like it. The blue side comp is, it really doesn't make sense to me.
I think this game is going to be majorly decided upon on that really early game that happens. Will red team take that initiative and go for aggressive dives and pushing in for scuttle fights or herald fights, or they let blue team scale?
Something I don't like is that both Set and Annie took TP.
Oh,
Like it should just be both of them taking ignite and absolutely wrecking the red side's day. Like they should be lane dominant. If they needed to take a TP, I guess Annie would be the one to take the TP, but I don't like the Set TP.
I think the other thing that I'm not a big fan of is Yumi's ignite. Because, I mean, what fights are they going to get into and Yumi would need to ignite? Why doesn't Ezreal get something like Cleanse if necessary, or something like, what is it?
Barrier, like Annie.
Barrier, TP. And then I see Jinx up there with the Cleanse. The biggest thing that it looks like she's trying to cleanse is Annie. But that's about it.
Yeah, Annie or Maokai ult, I guess. I don't
It's
like
pretty
the
useless
cleanse.
in lane.
Yeah,
Right.
Like this lane, she's just gonna be scaling the entire time. Like she just gets free scale. Ezreal Yumi, unless you literally tank everything, like they don't really have kill pressure. So the hardest scaling summoner spell is obviously Ghost, other than Flash, of course. But I don't like the cleanse. I also don't like the aftershock coming out of. Why is the game frozen? I don't like the aftershock coming out of Nautilus, because realistically, like, it's not gonna have any value until 15 minutes, where I guess you're just gonna be the only tank. Actually, no, that does make sense. I feel like as Nautilus, you should just be playing for lane as much as possible, and Glacial Augment, that's the lane rune. Like that's the I caught you rune.
Right. That's definitely a whole lot better if they're trying to use like go for a disengage and defensive comp, because it also slows them down. Aftershock, all that does is protect Nautilus, and he will only need that if he's the aggressor.
Oh, game was paused. That makes sense. I was like, why is this game frozen? Let me fix everything really quick. I don't know. Yeah, I am not exactly understanding most of this. It's alright though. Oh, Ezreal actually took Conqueror, which I'm not sure if I like that or not.
I mean, what's the alternative?
PTA, which the Conqueror is mainly to deal damage to tanks. Like you want to take it if you're like constantly hitting Qs over and over again. So you can like keep it stacked and keep it up and always apply that true damage. But I don't think that's going to be happening this game. I mean, the only guy that you can be hitting permanently is Nautilus, and if he just doesn't walk up, and that rune has no value.
Yeah, especially for their team comp where they're all trying to play in the back line. Like you mentioned before, it's not really Ezreal's not really gonna have a good time hitting these Qs reliably. It's not like they have any big tanks or
Ooh,
meaty
topside
bruisers.
invade.
So when Set tries to go for a disengage, Nautilus maybe a flash Q? No,
Nothing. All right. Almost a little excitement there. Huh? Okay.
Oh, a little bit of frozen. You see
Oh, they're going for
Maokai
something
just
here?
waiting. Are they
Okay,
going
just
for a continuous dive?
he has some crazy future telling skills because he just walked out of that bush without any vision.
Yeah, the thing that confuses me, why did Maokai wood his own red? I mean, I guess he was ready to give his red if needed.
Maybe he didn't want to get invaded. Ivern obviously has just like his passive and then smites it and it's just immediately gone.
And we're looking at maybe a counter invade. Oh, maybe not. Just a little bit of warding. We see a lot of wards on the red side.
Does anybody have sweeper? No one has sweeper. Oh no.
And it's very apparent.
I mean, this is actually exactly what red side does not want to do. They don't want to split the map and then play around bot side.
Right.
Because
Because it's not like there's going to be much happening,
yeah,
right?
like there's nothing for bot side. Why is
Right.
it freezing?
And looking at that, Ivan is able to take Maokai's red buff and then help protect Kale and from sets dominating early game. This is not what's supposed to happen.
I don't like this at all. Yeah, and, like
Oh,
they
and
if they
they're
look for the
looking for
fight, like
damage.
they're gonna lose. They're gonna.
Maokai's going in. That's a lot of damage on Ezreal. Maokai tries to go for a fight, can't reach out. This is not looking favorable right now on red team side.
I will say the red team's comp is a lot more balanced than blue's, but if things get out of hand, blue can just easily take over this game.
Right. Their comp is made to scale, and if you give them any edge to snowball, it might just be over from the start.
Oh, I like that little trade.
Really positive, really aggressive too.
Oh,
We see a Q on the Yumi. Doesn't make too much crazy sense. We get a great damage on that Jinx rocket though.
yes, Ivern weirdly is so weird. He went for his Krugs. I mean, I know they buffed the Ivern Krug taking, but oh shit.
Shoot. We see the
Shoot,
Nautilus
sorry.
hitting a third Q. And Set's failing. Look at this. I mean, Set is not doing well right now on his pressure. Because now, and they go for a quick Q flash. We get to see third flash. Maokai goes for the WQ, gets the phase rush on. Nautilus has no choice. He's flashless. He gets a free kill. Ezreal gets no pick. They might be
This
going for
could turn
another
into a second.
Jinx tries to go for a kill, but Ezreal misses her W just barely. Maokai might going for a double kill.
The minion wave
it's
is
really
so
close.
big.
Jinx might be able to get that kill. But the Yumi E, maybe the minions.
W.
Oh,
no W.
Brutal.
That's not too bad, honestly. I think the Nautilus was being a little bit overzealous, but you know it's fine. It's completely fine. Jinx is scaling. She got a kill off of that. It's not the worst.
You know, more notably, Ezreal got. Red team won that skirmish. Maokai got one kill and Ezreal got another. still going to be a scaling game though.
Yeah, what I don't like about this is that Ezreal just, I mean, the wave was so thick when Maokai was trying to gank, was that
Right.
like even if you get a gank off, you're gonna lose one because that wave is literally DPSing for like 100 a second. There's so many. And the reason why the wave was like that is because of the invade. Like they had to walk through the tri-bush and Nautilus can just look for an engage.
Right, and then give up. They also had to try and give up wave because Nautilus and Jinx with that early super huge damage on Ezreal. So they just basically had to give up the first level 2. Looking here, we see Ivan following up on Maokai. Maybe they're going for a Scuttle skirmish. Nautilus puts up pressure. He grabs Maokai. Ivan might follow for Q. Does he try and go? Oh, he's putting pressure on Maokai. Maokai has no
just face
flash.
rush
It's
away.
a free Q. Orion goes for a QW. That's a might be enough damage, and Ivan secures another kill. And Jinx starts getting the Scuttle.
Maokai could have actually lived that if he just phase rushed away immediately instead of waiting for the Ivern to get in range for the Q. I mean,
Right.
yeah. Now the blue side bot lane just has like full control over the wave, over the side of the map. I feel like red side really needs to just play around their top laner now, top or mid, something.
There isn't too much pressure, but I mean, just looking at the top lane CS, Kale is already doing well. Nautilus is trying to cause some pressure, but Jinx is way too far up to try and help make a play, and she definitely has no go, so she can't follow up.
It's actually very weird. I don't know how Kale got a back off when. Yeah, look, I don't know how Kale's getting these backs off. This is illegal. Like
Set is just he
kinda
is not
throwing.
using his early game lead. Yeah, he is throwing essentially. He's failing to lead. Kale is ranged. Set is at a huge disadvantage here.
Ezreal, actually, if he knows the Maokai's like right behind him, he should just be letting this wave come into him instead of pushing it.
Right, but I think and he can definitely still let this wave push. At least he's going for last hits now.
I mean, Jinx doesn't want this wave to push either, is the thing. It's very good,
He's
actually.
going for the-
Maokai's stuck into that bush. There's no ward in there. Actually, wait. Is there one? Let me check.
No war. He's just going for a little bit of pressure. He's trying to bait out the Nautilus. Nautilus
they
might be
don't-
going for a power play.
Yeah, they don't have any vision of him on the converse. He's just gonna be waiting there forever. Oh, Annie seems to be caught out here. Hello? Ethan?
Hello, hello.
Yeah, you back?
Yeah, I just lost internet temporarily.
Oh, no, that's fine. There's just a kill that happened. Actually, unfortunate timing. I was like, where's my play?
Where is it? But just looking at this top lane, Kale has complete and total dominance over Set.
Yeah,
I mean,
this
this lane is lost,
it should not be happening.
right?
Like Maokai, I don't know what you're doing, man. Just yeah, I get the dragon, sure, but like the early dragon, it doesn't really do much for you. You can give 2 dragons here without it being meaningful because you want your top side to be ahead.
Right.
Look at that, they're just making plays top side. Complete opposite of what I wanted to happen.
Seems like this game is going into blue team's side. I mean, it's completely uncontested. Set definitely can't do anything. Look at that item disadvantage Set has.
I mean, yeah, he's just backed.
And to be honest, I mean, is Iron Spike Whip really gonna do much?
No.
In my opinion, maybe it would have been better if he got something like Ninja Tabby.
Yeah, I was gonna say like tier 2 boots is perfectly reasonable here because all
Right,
Kale's doing
he
is just
needs
auto attacking.
Right, and that movement speed helps him catch up with Kale, especially if Kale's with the slow and the buffs herself with the W.
What I don't like here is that Maokai's gonna be topside without a reset, and he's. Let's see how much gold he's holding right now. He's holding 1k gold just on hand.
And Kale and Ivan go for a power play. Set has to flash and dodges the Q. If he got hit, it would have been over.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I don't like this. It's like he's sitting topside. This is a perfect opportunity for a gank on the next wave, and he just has 1k gold like in his pocket. Like, what is he doing with it?
Absolutely. Especially because look, if you look at the wave on the top lane, Kale is clearly pushing in set. This is the perfect opportunity to gank.
He actually had a timer. If he didn't clear his bot side camps instead back and cleared his top side camps, Kale could be pressured right now. Instead, she just gets a free back off again. Another free back.
Set refused to try and freeze that wave. And Kale is scaling. She's scaling harder and harder. I'm not surprised that she has a blasting wand at this point.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, like as the game goes on, this is not. It's not gonna go well for red side.
Right.
Especially if like the Kale's not gonna be the one that like is pressured.
Oh, and we see a hook by Nautilus. Unexpected by Ezreal here, so for late E. Pushes back, tries to do some quick damage. Jinx goes on the pressure. Nautilus tries to go for a second Q, hits it. No Ezreal E. He has ult, but Jinx goes for it. Ivan goes for a buff, goes on the Rift Herald.
I mean, yeah, you see that classic Ezreal Yumi. You know, even if the trade looks good, it's always going to be even.
Right.
Oh, what are you doing?
Ezreal tries to go for the pressure. Ease gets hit by the Nautilus Q, but dies due to the burst. Well, that almost looked unfavorable, but the sudden Yumi heal and
I like this. I like this a lot.
Putting on pressure, puts on pressure. Jinx tries to flash away, but Ezreal tries to follow up. Ivan damage is just crazy though. Yumi tries to go up. Maokai flashes, tries to go for some damage, but this is not looking good. Quick Jinx W. Ivan's putting the pressure, and Orianna goes in. This should be an uncontested kill. Maokai should not get a kill here. Orianna might be able to pull a kill on Yumi, but Annie comes in, saves Yumi. Annie might be able to pull up. Oh, but Ivan flashes and reacts to the W, hits him with a stun, and he has too much of a divisive burst. She might be going in, but the Orianna ult, the CC is just too great. Dive. Will they be able to get Yumi? Ivan goes for the pressure. And Daisy finishes off Yumi. Let me see. Ezreal,
what are we doing
the bomb
here?
plan to try and go in, but he warded, eased away, disengages from the fight. But otherwise, I mean, that fight was just so sad.
Yeah, I mean,
Really
Ezreal was just too overzealous with this flash. I don't really understand why he was just flashing in like that. He could have just waited for the Maokai ult to hit. It's just everything was so close, but it does not look good for red.
Right, and now we see Maokai pulling up on Kale. They try and go for a kill. This is very much possible. Kale's going for some quick damage, building a little tempo stack, but that burst is great. That burst is really good. Oh, and kills him, but unfortunately, Maokai takes the kill. Set could have really used that to keep the pressure on Kale.
Yeah, another nuance about the Set Kale matchup was that Set can ult towards the end of Kale ult. So the time where she's invulnerable while auto-attacking is just nullified by Set ult.
Right. I imagine that's why Kale refused the ult. Like, it was just a lost cause no matter what.
And these unleashed TPs are
Ivan goes for a Q. Orianna baits him with the Q. QW. Maokai has forced the ult, and they keep chasing thanks to the phase. Orianna goes for the ult and takes the pick on Maokai.
That's depressing. I was gonna say that the unleashed teleports are both up for the top and mid, but looks like they don't need it for the next drag. They're just gonna let Ivan solo take it by himself. No. Oh yeah, there's a Daisy. And
that is so tragic. And I mean, looking at the bot lane side, there isn't much Set can do, honestly, in that matchup against Kale anymore. Maybe Set could have and he tries to go for an engage, but Set definitely could have tried the TP on that pink ward down there, or I think that's a ward, to try and get pressure. I mean, looking at that, does Set even have tier 2 boots at the moment?
Let me check. Yeah, he does. His tabbies.
Oh, he's just so
Actually, I know they kill auto attacks a lot, but I don't really like the tabbies.
Oh, and Niles goes for another fake QE combo and ults in for the extra CC. Ezreal tries to E out, but it just might be too late. Goes for the W, gets the pick, but Annie goes for the ult. hits her with the stun. Nas hits from the flash, misses the Q. Yumi goes on Annie and tries to go burst on Jinx, but it simply doesn't work with Ivan.
The Iron
clutching
Shield.
up.
Welcome to the church of Iron.
Annie tries to go back in, causes a lot of pressure. Yumi goes for the quick Q in. Annie's Tibbers is doing damage. Annie's is lingering. Maybe she can try and get more poke, but one Nas Q could just be the end of it. Maokai goes in and try and stop.
Maokai loses this 1,000,000% or 1,000,000%.
Just some quick damage. I mean, Annie is doing so much.
Yeah, she's trying her hardest out here.
Right, but she simply cannot secure a kill. As much as how Ivan is not necessarily useful because there isn't much melee matchups, that shield is still prevalent.
Traditionally speaking, wait, what is going on here? Annie's just taking it.
Causing a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
A lot of damage.
Traditionally speaking, PTA and Ezreal is paired with Essence Reaver, but we see here it's just for some reason he has Conquer, and then for some reason he also just went Essence Reaper. It's really kind of, it doesn't really help because if you have Essence Reaver, you're going for a high damage burst build, and doesn't really work out with Conquer because Conquer is over time damage. You really want a Trinity Force when you're going Conquer because you're auto attacking as well. Oh, the flash.
One is forced to flash, not get busted out. Set once again is unable to get the catch on Kale. Oh, and Set misses his E. Kale causes pressure up.
This Maokai has absolutely no pressure on the map. He's fighting when he should be clearing camps. He's clearing camps when he should be fighting. Like, look here, like he should be up top instead of clearing his red buff right now, trying to counter gank this, counter dive.
Right. It is not looking good for Set. If they get dived, it's not great, especially with Kale ult. And Set tries to cause some havoc, does some damage, tries to burst down Nas, goes for the ult, W's, but unfortunately,
Kale ult.
Nas gets Kale ulted, and it was just all that damage out the drain. Oriana goes for some quick damage, and he tries to get bursted, but that range, that poke accumulated was just too high. That's the thing that I was worried about when it came to the Oriana versus Annie matchup. Oriana, especially with Phase Rush, has so much poking and kiting potential against Annie.
Yeah, no, you were right. I don't know what's happening here. This tier 2 is about to be taken by a Kale. That just sucks. It's like an extra like 600 gold just straight fed into Kale's mouth.
Right, and now she's level 11. I mean, she's just at this point. I don't know what Set's supposed to do.
Like, look at the gold leads now.
An entire 1,000 gold lead.
Yeah, I mean, overall the red team is behind 6k gold right now, 6 or 7k gold.
I mean, Oriana managed to get mid-tier tire by herself too, just literally just dominating the lane against Annie. There's an entire 2-level difference against Jinx versus Ezreal at the moment.
Yeah, and they'll always have the late game insurance with Kale and Jinx. Like it does not look good for red team right now.
Right. I think at this point they have to look for power picks.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same exact thing. Like at this point, like they should just be looking for cheeses. Like sit in a bush and pray to God. You know what I mean?
Right. Which can be especially hard because of how much disengaged that team has. Ivan E, Kale ult. Oh, and Nautilus and Jinx might be going a pick on Set. Can they even take this fight? Set gets hit by the Nautilus Q, double CC by Jinx's E. Set's building up that rage. Can he hit him with the W? Hits him with the E, hits him with the W, but misses the stun. True damage, but then the burst down there on Kale. Set is doing so much. He flashes?
Yeah, the camera. My bad for the camera. I should have clicked on Set, I guess. I didn't know they were gonna go bot lane.
That wasn't really an interesting fight though. No, I mean,
yeah.
Set.
I go for it.
Well, with Set, the problem in that fight was that Set wasn't able to hit his EW correctly. He was forced to E to catch up to Jinx, but right when he E'd, he got knocked up by Nautilus' ult, and so it made it much harder for someone like Set to actually hit his true damage W.
Yeah.
And then looking at the Kale fight, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like as soon as he saw the Nautilus ult was gonna hit, he should just ult and completely nullify the Nautilus ult.
Right.
But
or at least W, because I'm imagining when that Nautilus ult hits, Jinx will at least ideally have some sort of false sense of security.
Yeah, get an ability off at least, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And then blue team just secures another dragon. The only good play that came out of this was when Annie and Maokai took the jump on Kale. It was a good play, but it's simply not enough at the moment.
Yeah, and now there's just no chance Set matches the Kale. She just outranges him infinitely. There's nothing for him to do. His only time to do something has been, it's like 15 minutes past that now. It's just, the top side is over. So now what can you do? What as a jungler, what do you look for next, right? You have to look for something to play around your Ezreal. Like, just sit in the bush and wait for Ivern to walk in, and just pray to God your Ezreal gets the bounty.
The other issue too is like Maokai, he can cause a lot of pressure, but he's trying to gank a Kale or Orianna. They have so much good disengage.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Ivern's already at 3 items. I mean, he has the most kills on your team, and his items are extremely cheap. Each of them costing around like 2,300. They all just got buffed by the.
That Maokai and Yumi are pulling up. They're just trying to run away. They're trying to disengage, and they're just trying to follow. They have no choice. Yumi, can Maokai catch him and hit the W? He hits the W, goes for knockback, sets for goal combo. They're doing a lot of damage, and then Set misses the E. Maokai gives him the kill, and that's another good kill. But the pressure down in bot lane is great.
Yeah, I mean, if they get this tower, it's not a bad death. Kale was not worth that much gold to begin with. She is scaling, however, but it's looking more and more suffocating by the moment.
Right. It doesn't matter what pick they try and do. It seems like blue team's always punishing whenever they can. Oh my god! And they get the pick. Set tries to ult to disengage, but gets busted out. He gets saved as a result. And so Ezreal gets some damage. Can they get Jinx? Ezreal's trying to do anything. Gets the kill, but Ivan follows up. Jinx kills him, kills Annie. What did they kill? They killed Orianna. Jinx is getting a quadra kill.
Yeah, it's not looking great here, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep 100. After that skirmish, this game is most likely over.
Yeah,
this is a tier 3 tower.
They can look to end soon if they didn't even give up that much power. They still have they have ults coming up soon. Like, they could feasibly, if they stall around a little bit, they could look to end. But I think the safer play here would just to be playing around that top tier 2, playing around that mid tier 2, and playing for Baron.
Baron is definitely a good play here, especially since Jinx just got 4 kills. And the Baron play, Set goes in unknowingly in the bush, tries to cause some damage. Ezreal tries to do some damage, but simply not enough.
This could be the game ender here.
But Kale ult, Jinx does a lot of damage, and Nas goes in, make the play on this. Kale tries to go in, tries to cause them a lot of damage, but not enough range.
I think that's at least 2 Nexus towers. Maybe Ezreal can put out enough damage and never mind.
But that burst is so great by Orianna, and they try and stop him, but it's too late. A 22-minute game.
Oh, that was a little bit sad, if I'm being honest.
I mean, we're saying that red team was supposed to be making these picks, but you just saw blue team hiding in that bush, taking out Set, and then going from there.
Yeah. Jesus. Look at the damage. Ezreal Yumi should be like at least a little bit more, like around the 10k mark, just based off of their laning phase, but they were stomped out early, so they couldn't really do anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, that game was brutal too. Looking at the top side and mid lane side, they just lost their lanes.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it.
Everything, this whole entire game stems from the level 1 invade. Just makes absolutely no sense. What are you doing there?
Right.
Like, I have no idea what's happening.
I don't know what they expected. I don't know what they wanted to take out of that.
Like, you lost bot lane just off of the level 1 invade. There's you can't. There's nothing else to say about it.
Like, you just gave Jinx and Nautilus, it's supposed to be a peaceful lane. You gave them so much tempo that caused so much pressure. And now look at the results. Nautilus has done more damage than Set.
Yeah, that's just depressing. All right, we'll see you guys in the next game. Are we off yet?
Oh no.
Do you mind checking?
Yeah. No. Oh yes. We're on the, like, if you look at it, we're at the winners bracket now.
Yeah, but turn on sound.
Yeah. I'm just waiting on the 10-second delay.
Oh, we're still on, guys. Hi, how's it going? Here, wait. I'm gonna mute. I'll be back. Hello? Ethan?
Hello?
Yo.
Good. And I just disconnected too early again.
April wants us to do a bracket rundown, so give me one second.
Okay.
Let me stream my screen. What the fuck? My eyes hurt.
All right. I'll lead. You lead. I'll follow.
Team rosters. Oh. Stream can hear us right now, by the way. Don't know what's going on. We'll run with it. Let's talk about the winners bracket right here. You see what I'm looking at?
Yep.
All right, so the next match up. Wait, we already went through the semifinals. God dang.
Dang, that was quick.
Yeah. Wait. What? Okay. Boomers versus Washed Up. I do recognize a couple of these names. Boomers was the team that just won that we saw. It was the blue side team with the Ivern. The Ivern
Oh,
being
okay.
Forrest's son, the GOAT himself. And Washed Up has a few names I recognize as well. Teresa G, she's the fantastic Bubble XT. Apparently, according to her, Mango is the cutest cat. Just so you guys know. Yeah, I haven't really watched many of Washed Up's games, but what do you expect to see out of Boomers?
Considering Boomers just now win with that Ivan comp, I think they might playing the same game. In my opinion, if it works once, why not keep trying it? So I think they're going to try and play slow again, really defensively, but I think it also really depends on Washed Up. Have we seen a game of Washed Up?
No, but I mean they made it this far, right? This is the winners finals. So after this match, I believe tomorrow the winner of this final will be moving on to the actual finals tomorrow, if I remember correctly, against the
Really?
losers finals.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
I really am interested in what it's going to look like in the losers finals. I'm assuming, Pepega Squad, Ashrays, Legendary More Besties, and PM for TFT Elo Boost might be able to get a second chance coming up, right? There can only be one winner against Boomers and Washed Up.
Yeah.
And, at least for me right now, I'm rooting for Pepega Squad. They lost against Boomers. I want to see that rematch.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I want to see. I feel like casters aren't supposed to say this, but I want to see Pepega Squad's jungler show up. Like there's so much that he could be doing with the Maokai. It's just, I feel like it's not really working out. I do want to say though, win or lose, this was a great time. If I'm being honest.
It's really entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to learn these matchups from a really top-down perspective and how it all comes together. Like that in both games, the Maokai was tried to be aggressive. But let's say in the second game that we saw with Pepega squad, the Maokai tried to focus so much on the bot lane side, but what is there really to gain compared to something like propelling set?
Yeah. I think the next bracket is gonna be the losers bracket, and those are mainly just gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be, obviously it's just gonna be the teams that lost that we saw. But I believe we saw Ashray's Assailants and Pepega squad, and they're actually on opposite sides of the first match. I haven't really seen yeah. Actually, it looks like Washed Up beat both Legendary More Beasties and PM for TFT Elo boost. And they're also on opposite sides, so
Right. I mean, it will be really, really interesting if we get to see a rematch from the quarterfinals. Like, let's say Asher's Assailant and Pepega squad win. We could see that come out again.
Yeah.
And see who truly wins. My thing though is I'm looking at the losers semifinal and losers final. We see that you have to be the winner of match 6 and match 7 to go into that game, but then whoever wins in the losers semifinals has to go against either Boomers or Washed Up in the losers final, which will be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Washed Up historically already beat Legendary More Beasties in TFT Elo boosts. So if either of those teams are the ones that end up in match 9, we could expect Washed Up to probably win it.
Right. I wonder if I am really rooting for a rematch. I think that would easily be the most entertaining thing we're gonna see in these games. My thing though that I'm a little worried about is if we do see a rematch, will they learn? Will there be a change in team comp or in team strategy?
I pray for. Honestly, I want to see Pepega squad win. I'm just being real. Like I just there's so many things they could be doing. I swear. It's all right.
And a game should be coming up soon. No, I mean it's 4 p.m.
Yeah, we're just waiting on stream right now. I don't know what's going on with Isaac. What is Isaac doing? We can't sit here and talk all day. Oh.
What happened?
That was my bad. Okay. We can start whenever.
Okay, awesome. Tell me when.
All right, we're starting. Oh, let me swap. Give me 1 second. Let me swap back to league. All right, nice. Ramen Chef 4.
All right, and we're getting back into the game. We got blue side on left and right side, and red team on right side, and we get yet another ban on Nivea.
I mean, there's obviously an Nivea player on that team.
And then we see a Talia ban, maybe for jungle or mid. Oh, and we see an Ivan ban.
Yeah.
They must have seen that previous game. I mean, Ivan was like what 7-0 at one point.
I think he ended the game like 9-0. He's the GOAT.
Yeah, I mean,
Making
even
the
though
plays.
we had our concerns with the fact that it wasn't exactly the best comp when it comes with Ivan, but he really propelled himself out there. And another ban on Yorick.
What did they ban last time instead of Ivern? The red side from last game. I don't remember. Was it
What a
Rek'Sai?
good question. They banned Ivan. What else?
I
did
mean,
they ban?
they're just leaving something open now, if I
Right.
remember correctly.
Oh, and we see an Ari pick immediately. I know in the first game that we watched, Ari was doing relatively well, especially if they choose Annie for a third time. Kaiser or Jinx?
Kaisa or Jinx? I don't like the Kaisa if it's gonna come out. Yeah,
A Kaiser pick. Really interesting.
Oh yeah, I was saying Rek'Sai. Yeah, I mean obviously there's a Rek'Sai one trick on their team then.
Rek'Sai can be scary. I mean, even without Prowlers, you just slap a Stridebreaker and with her current buffs, it really, really does well for Rek'Sai. Now for Kai'Sa, I'm not so sure. Especially since they nerf Stormrazor, it makes it harder for Kai'Sa to actually get those evolutions out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Kaisa evolution breakpoints right now is if you go Stormrazor, then you can't get evolution. You go Stormrazor into Gwynsu's, you can't get evolution until level 9, which is actually a
Right.
really long time for a bot laner. That's almost at the point where like you're out of lane, and you really want to Q evolve like in lane as soon as possible. And
Right,
so
you get a
if
lot
she,
more pressure.
yeah, if she wants to go Q evolve, she has to choose either between like curving into her item correctly or cheating and buying just a crap ton of AD and just going Q evolve, which that doesn't really make sense.
One thing I am rooting for though is, you know, who knows? Maybe they will see a new build come out. Ideally, they should know these changes right now because if they think they can do the same thing, it will be problematic, especially with that Rakan pick, right? They're looking for aggression, unless we see a roaming Rakan.
Yeah, actually, Kaisa, Rek'Sai, and Rakan, they're all pretty on theme with each other. I mean, all they're looking to do is go in. I don't really see the need for a Blitzcrank here. I mean, you're hooking people that want to go in. So,
Right.
like, and it doesn't really look like they have enough burst to kill the person that wants to go in to begin with, unless it's the
Especially
Kaisa.
a Jinx.
Yeah.
Maybe a Kai'Sa, but even then, I mean, Kai'Sa can try and E out. She has some mobility. While someone
Yeah.
like Jinx, early game, she doesn't have the highest amount of damage.
Or in like conversely, if Kaisa gets hooked, Rakan can just E dash to her and then get a free W on your Jinx.
And we have a switch up, and Kai'Sa can perfectly follow it up. I mean, Kai'Sa doesn't have a lot of range, right? Jinx can cause a lot of pressure there then, but she doesn't have too much peel for herself due to Blitzcrank.
Yeah, honestly, I wanted to see something like, yeah, Milio went unbanned in this draft. I don't understand why there's no Milio pick, especially versus the Rakan, where you can just queue him away from the W.
I mean, we've already discussed before just how broken Milio is.
Yeah.
And especially with Jinx, I mean, that's so much of a better pick than something like Blitzcrank versus Jinx, right?
Yeah, no. Like, I think Milio on blue side, excuse me, voice crack. Emilio on blue side would be like extremely beneficial, especially with the Jinx. Like, she'll have 700 range rockets with W. Like,
Was she a Jinx?
that's like all. I mean,
And now we
compared
have
to
an
like Kaisa's like
Aatrox
500 range.
pick. And now we see an Aatrox pick, right? Once again, it benefits heavily with Emilio with the extra healing and shielding. He can go in.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, but making a look at and another Maokai pick, a Maokai pick for the third game in a row, jungle assumedly. Let's hope this is a better Maokai.
Yeah.
And we see a Garen top lane.
I don't hate
Once
it.
again, I don't hate it either. It's a lot of burst, and it can really take down those really sticky champions like Aatrox, right?
Yeah. Garen likes to run
yeah.
Ignite, and he also likes to run Phase Rush, which can just run circles around Aatrox's combo, which are just slow skill shots. Like, I feel like Garen has a pretty decent chance here.
Right, no, for sure. I mean, unless of course Aatrox tries to keep up the pressure amongst Garen, but with that passive healing on Garen, it could be really beneficial. It looks like on red team side, which I believe is the Boomers, they're instead of being on the defensive, they've gone on the aggressive. Looking at their comp itself,
Yeah, but
while on the blue side, it seems a little bit more mixed.
the Jinx here, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like if it feels like they just stuck in like a late game champ to like say they have some kind of late game, which when in
Right.
reality, because of red side's like extremely good synergies with each other, their late game it probably is still better.
Right. Especially with like that, like either Garen and Rakan or Rek'Sai going in with that Orianna ult, devastating. Really good power play because it can
Yeah.
cover so much distance.
I was gonna say like Ori J4 is a very common combo, but
Right.
Ori Rek'Sai isn't bad either because Rek'Sai just even if she doesn't have prowlers, all she's gonna do is just flash on the other guy. Like
Right.
Orianna, like she's gonna place Orianna's ball like right where she wants it.
And now we see a stride breaker as well, right? I mean, that can also slow them down, so it most likely guarantees that ball to hit. I don't know how they're going to disengage that. I mean, the good news is that on the blue team side, they do have some relatively good disengage, right? We got Maokai Q, a Maokai ult, and then the RAE, of course. So, but then again, there's 3 people engaging on the red team side: Rakan, Rek'Sai, Garen. They can't stop them all.
Yeah. I just like the Blitzcrank just doesn't make sense to me.
Me neither.
I would rather see like if you really want a hook champ, Thresh, Nautilus, both of those champs are so much better. Even
They're
like
so much more
actually
versatile.
a very spicy pick here would have been Pike actually, because
Really?
that would boost Blue Side's pick potential so much more. While they
Mhm.
wouldn't have like too much frontline, because it would only actually no, their frontline would still be covered because of Maokai and Aatrox. Their like pick potential and their teamfight capability would go up by an exponential amount.
The other thing too is that, I mean, Pike has so much more reach in terms of hitting multiple targets well, so he can serve as a better disengage than
Yeah.
something like Blitzcrank, right? A silence is not going to do that much.
Yeah, to me, it's just like Blue Side's comp, their top side, they're like their mid jungle top. They kind of make sense together. It's just their bot side that it just doesn't make sense to me.
Right, right.
I don't know.
I don't know how this game's going to turn out. I mean, I'm thinking about the top lane side now. With Garen and Rek'Sai, if they gank, that's an easy rundown. I think Garen has a much better chance of running away from something like a Maokai Aatrox comp, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, especially if Garen runs phase rush, Garen goes Nimbus Cloak with that phase rush and Ignite.
Yep.
The only thing on red sides that doesn't really make sense is actually doesn't really make sense to me because it's not exactly meshing together the best is the Garen, but like that, even that, like he's still fine.
Right.
He's still like
And
perfectly fine.
at worst, he can serve as a good frontline tank, right?
Yeah.
He gets
We
a
actually see
lot
the
of
conquer
healing.
out of Garen. I do not like that actually.
I think you stopped streaming.
Oh, sorry. That's a Discord issue. Yeah, the conquer out of the Garen, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
To be fair, that's much more typically seen in the Garen top lane pick, especially considering he's against another bruiser. Right? If he was against a ranged top lane like let's say Kennen, it would make sense for him to pull phase rush. But when it comes to scaling later on, I'm not too sure. Oh, and we see an engage. Look at that. Maybe a gank. I think both of them are trying to go for a counter gank. And
Yeah, I mean they're stacking. They're
Hmm.
both stacking.
they're just taunting each other.
Let's zoom out a little bit here.
Oh my
They're just
God.
waiting.
These power poses, this intimidation tactic, it's crazy. We seem to both give up. We compared to the other two we've recently seen, this is a relatively tame early game. It seems like each team wants to start off at an even footing against each other. But it'll be really interesting to see how this turns out later on.
Let me fix this up real quick. Sorry.
Whoa,
Everything seems to be very conventional. What were you saying?
I see a Doran's shield by Aatrox. I don't know why. I
Oh.
don't agree with it.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know what's going on here.
Aatrox has that range advantage. Why doesn't he just abuse that? Because he shouldn't be letting Garen come up to him, right?
Actually, yeah, no, you're completely right. I was gonna say, Jinx should have complete wave control, especially level 1 when she just has rockets. She should be the one hitting level 2 first. Not.
Mhm. Yeah, and the poke advantage as well. I mean, sure, Rakan can W, but there isn't too much Kai'Sa can follow up with. Like,
Yeah,
look at that right now.
and also, like, what happens when Rakan's W's? He's just, like, if he misses, he's just naked there. Like, he can't really do anything.
Even risks a Blitzcrank Q. It probably won't do much, but the risk is still there.
Oh,
See,
a little bit of a lane gank here.
Oh, a Rek'Sai on the sneaky bush tactic, but I don't get that play. If anything, that could be used as a counter gank, but there's no way they're going to be able to get him. Right?
No, I don't hate
that's
it.
just
This wave is pushing back. They're just gonna have to wait. This jungler is just gonna have to wait,
a
like,
really long time.
yeah, like another minute before anything. Oh, actually, if Blitzcrank,
Maybe, but they're
Blitzcrank's,
playing it off.
it should
think
be
they
very
just
suspicious.
Oh, and that's a move in.
Oh.
That's a knock up. A heal by Jinx. A flash.
Oh.
Rakan misses his W. He's naked. They can maybe go for a play. He has no in. That's a kill. That's a first blood by Jinx. Goes for a quick poke. Oh my God. What a fumble by Rakan.
Oh, again, we were talking about this last game, but look at that wave. That's just, you can count them up. That's like around like 10, 12 minions. They're
Right.
each hitting for 10 damage apiece. Like,
Thing is that they're just waiting so long to make that play, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't help that Rakan missed his W with no E too. I think that was a level 2 fight. Yeah, Rakan was level 2. I think he had Q second, so he couldn't even like escape, and so it was just over.
We can check. Hold on. Yeah, he didn't have E up, or he didn't level his E.
Right. So that was really a huge all-in. And Maokai goes into the top lane. Garen just uses all-in QE combo, and Aatrox is not trying to follow up. He's trying to do some quick damage.
Oh, come on.
But
No,
to be
but-
fair, I can see that. I mean, before the camera panned away, Aatrox used his last Q, right? He doesn't have much damage from there. Maybe a W if he still had it.
Yeah, I mean, look at the power phrasing. Even if that gank doesn't work out, Maokai still had the chance to do that, which Garen should feel some pressure from that.
When Garen's pushing up, he's just eating up that damage.
Yeah, I mean, Garen, that's exactly what Garen should be doing. He should just sacrifice his entire health bar to get that wave in.
Right,
Which,
but
I mean-
unfortunately, it's not working.
Yeah.
Oh, we see some ward fighting over here, unsuccessful. This is not looking for Garen, good for Garen. We see that freeze up, and there can be a lot of pressure, especially because Garen and Rek'Sai is such a good gank with each other. We see a Maokai Ahri coming up, possibly in the mid lane.
Now, the mistake Aatrox is doing here is that he's continuing to freeze this lane, and he should be backed by now. Like, he definitely should be backed, because Garen's going to come back with an extra couple items in full HP, and he's going to be able to push this wave in and reset it onto his side very easily. Actually, it looks like Aatrox even just fucked up his freeze.
And we see a gank on the bot lane. Blitzcrank goes for a Q, hits his Q on Kaiser, but they goes for the shield. Oh, a lot of damage, but the disengage is just too much. Rek'Sai goes for a counter gank. She pulls in. There's no ward. You see, she goes in. They have no flash. Remember, heal and flash were already used by Jinx. Maybe they get a flash on the kill. Still missing RW, but Blitzcrank goes for a kill. That's another kill. Oh, and Garen's trying to look for an all-in, but doesn't realize that Aatrox gets his level 6. He's chasing. Garen has to flash out of that.
I don't know what's going on with this Garen. Like, he should, like, I mean, obviously level 6 happened, but he should not be losing, like, trades before he hits level 6.
Right.
Especially with, like, the Ignite and extra item advantage.
And now look at him. Aatrox has the TP up. Like, this is not good on Garen. Unless he tries to freeze us, but I think he just is looking to clear the wave. Oh, Rek'Sai is pissed. I mean, he lost that scuttle, but he can't do anything about it. If Ari
might actually die for it.
Play. Oh, goes for the E, hits it. Maokai gets some damage. Hits him with the Q, free damage, and that's another kill. That's one kill by Ori.
That's what we in the business call an emotional play. That's...
Luke's gonna go for a play. He might be trying to look for a Q. That's a runaway E, and then hits it with a QE. The CC is just so great. Oh, he tries to ult, try and disengage the fight. Can Ori get the kill?
Oh,
She's
no.
reading.
Oh.
What a brutal undertaking.
That was such a good charm,
hit.
too. Yeah.
That was an amazing charm. Oh, and Kaiser goes to the play. Jinx tries to disengage.
Kai's a little bit too overzealous there. She should have waited just a little bit longer. Rakan would have been in position.
Right. Aatrox tries to stop him. I mean, it just seems like a simple game. Oh, man. Oh, that Orianna survived, which is great, but it's super horrible for such a good play by Ahri and Blitzcrank.
I feel like everybody in this game is getting the tournament shakies, because like the Blitzcrank made a mistake in that level 4 engage whenever they were... Oh, go ahead. Oh, shoot. Yeah. He made a mistake hooking the Kai'Sa back instead of just focusing on the Rakan. That was just over eagerness. Like, that just means that both of them live, and then he dies for it because the Rek'Sai flashes on him.
Right. Oh.
Yeah.
And look at that. Who is that? Rek'Sai, I believe, hovering over, looking for that gank. Meanwhile, it's looking pretty peaceful in the bot lane. I mean, this is Rek'Sai's bot lane at the moment, but Rek'Sai gets void leaves. Maybe tries to take jungle. Aatrox is a little scared. Yeah, and we see a fight for the drag, pretty uncontested. Maybe not even known. I mean, they have so much, red team has so much wards up on that I mean, bot lane can't do much of anything, and
Yeah,
Maokai's
there's no
just
wards
farming.
here at all. They have no idea this is happening. All they know is that the bot lane's missing, but they're just holding the wave here for no reason.
Right. What is Maokai doing? I mean, he's just farming.
Yeah,
Maybe
he's
for a Rift
chilling.
Herald.
Yeah, if he gets the Rift Herald here, it's okay. Like he trades objectives, that's fine.
Right. He goes for the Rift Herald. Unfortunately, he's not really making any ganking opportunities, though.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that he should have known that they were on the dragon, and if he'd known, then he would have like that timer when they're on dragon to get this herald. But now, like, Rek'Sai could just be doing anything. He could be bot lane, he could be clearing his top, and that just means that Maokai's behind on time. Maokai's going to be behind like 20, 30 seconds still.
Right. That tempo is especially important for such an aggressive comp. This like the red team's comp is all about getting that pressure on, right? With that tempo leads, and Maokai just giving it to him.
What is happening?
And we see a Maokai in the top lane going for a gank, goes for a quick damage, phase rush, but he goes too much all in with no W to save himself, and Garen just gets a free kill.
Yeah, this Aatrox is definitely saying some things in voice chat right now. Maokai's defending his life.
It's like a dragon, I promise. Oh, and that was, Maokai flashed for that fight too. Brutal.
Yeah. Overall, though, this game is still looking fairly even. and that's not necessarily a good thing for the bot side of the map. If we're just looking at this in a vacuum, Jinx and Blitz, I mean, if they get the chance, they will outscale. But hopefully, they have a lot less playmaking potential than I almost said Zaya Rakan, Kai'Sa Rakan. So that means like, if they make a mistake, Kai'Sa Rakan can easily just capitalize on it. Just what I'm hoping for.
Right. No, for sure. I mean, we see a Maokai
red
pulling
side.
up. Doesn't seem like there's any
Kai'Sa.
real vision here, but no, that simply doesn't work. The minions.
No,
saw
Maokai ult is
Maokai.
almost up. There could be something here. What's going on?
Maokai tries to create some pressure, but it doesn't seem to work out.
Yeah.
The issue there is that ward, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Maokai doesn't have so much mobility that he can try and ignore the ward like someone like Hecarim, because he needs to hit that W. Oh, but by that time, and that's a quick.
Oh, that's a
cancel
great
without the
knockup.
E. No, but it doesn't matter. Maokai goes for another gank. Oh, he goes for another.
Oh!
Come on, ignite!
Oh.
Oh,
We ticking.
we take it.
It's
That
not.
play, Maokai.
It's not the worst. They got assist gold for that.
Oh, look at mid lane. Rek'Sai's going in. Maokai tries to get some plating, but Rek'Sai goes in, tries to get a lot of damage. Ult stops the Q, goes unstoppable, gets a free kill. And now that goal is just going to Maokai at the moment. A wasted herald, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was just worth a little bit of gold, not even too much.
It doesn't even benefit the Ahri who needs it more.
Yeah, and it also nullifies. It's also being nullified because you died for it. So, like, the gold is still even.
Right. Oh, when you see Blitzcrank, maybe putting pressure. Top lane's having a relatively simple lane, but I think Garen's having the advantage on us, to be honest. Oh,
Rex is
Airsoft
finally
going to
taking his
pressure.
top side. There should be a play
Oh,
here soon.
Blitzcrank goes for it. Rakan goes an all in, charms him.
What the hell? What happened?
Oh no! Oh,
Uh.
charms him, hits with a 1W on the Jinx, but the damage is too high. Jinx is creating the pressure on Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa is forced to ult out and use heal. This
Like
is
I
what
was
I've been
saying,
talking
there's
about.
finally
Garen
a
put
play
the
here.
pressure.
You got the
but
Aatrox
Aatrox
flash.
flashes out.
That's actually really good for Garen. I mean, the only escape that Aatrox has from Garen is actually just his flash and his E, but like he can keep up.
And look, Rek'Sai's circling back in. She gets the ward up. I mean, to be honest, I don't know what Aatrox can do. Garen can slow push this wave, and there's not much Aatrox can do because ult is not going to save him, and the burst by Garen and Rek'Sai is just too great for Aatrox.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and his
Aatrox-
TP's not even going to be up for drag, so he can't really make a play elsewhere either. So he's just
Right.
stuck here without flash.
I mean, look at this. Look how scared Aatrox is. Rek'Sai's long gone, and now with the dragons pulling up, it doesn't seem good. Oh, Kai'Sa has to go for a flash. This dragon might be in blue side's hand, especially since Rek'Sai's on the top side. She's looking for a play over here.
Yeah, I'm actually very glad Rek'Sai's not just like mindlessly heading bot right now. She realizes that she can't make it in time because of the
Right, and
ward
Rek'Sai
take.
goes to the tunnel. Garen goes in. Aatrox tries to ult away. Can they go for knockup? Oh, and a double flash side first silence into a knockup, and then Garen secures the kill, really abusing the fact that Aatrox has no flash. Oh, and Blitzcrank might be going for a play. He goes in. He Qs on Rakan, stops the W, stops the E, stops the W,
Oh.
with no real damage, just an ult, just some extra damage.
If she
Oh,
didn't,
that's-
if Kai'Sa didn't step in that trap, this was definitely a turn angle. Let's look at her
Blitzcrank doesn't
items.
know Q.
Yeah, no, she doesn't have Q evolve because well, Storm Razor doesn't give any AD. She only has like around like 70 bonus AD right now or something like that.
Right. I mean, the good news is that Kai'Sa has some real damage. Steals the Grab from Maokai.
Yeah, he's definitely fuming right now.
I don't know why he was trying to steal the jungle. He has his own jungle to worry about, especially since like no one's going to help him.
I know, and look at the Garen. I mean, he's just gonna be clearing it out. He's
Right.
airing this place out. I can't say the words I wanted to say.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. You know the political climate that we're in right now? And now we're just seeing some peaceful farming, but I mean, look at this punish by Garen.
Oh, hook,
taking
hook,
on Maokai's
hook.
stuff.
Okay,
Oh,
it's
the
looking
Blitzcrank
good.
hook! Oh, it stops the W.
He actually delayed his E just a little bit because he wanted to reset with an auto, and he didn't get a kill because of that, or he didn't get more damage off. That was never a kill, but
look at this punish. Because they couldn't dish out enough damage, this is looking confident. They're trying to hold it. Blitzcrank just soaking up damage though. Rek'Sai might be going up. Their blue team is fully unaware that Rek'Sai's here. Red team's going to cause a lot of pressure. Bro, Maokai's coming up. He goes for a Q. Stops the knockup. Rakan is trying to go in, but then misses.
Aatrox TP is huge.
Rek'Sai goes in. Rek'Sai's trying to run away, but the Jelito Temple, a weird-looking W pulls up. And Aatrox TP tries to go for a kill, but Kaitsa runs away safely. Why did Maokai W that?
I understand the TP, but honestly, it's not the greatest here if he didn't get anything from that. I think he didn't get a single piece of gold from that. And now look at Garen. I mean, he's getting tower damage on. He could actually take this before Aatrox comes back. I mean,
Aatrox is
a little slow.
Yeah, especially because Aatrox has no ult. I mean, what is he gonna do to Garen? All Garen has to do is Q away.
Yeah, even if Garen dies here, which looks like he might. There's a chance.
Oh, but that Q damage.
Oh no, he just takes the plants out. Like
running away.
Even look at it's so worth. He draws 4 topside, and now his Kai'Sa just gets to free farm just a little bit while Jinx is backing.
Right. No Ahri ult, especially with Herald coming up.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah,
like, I don't know why Ahri ulted, to be honest.
I expect the red side, to be
we see Garen going in, going for a lot of damage with the blast cone, but Maokai is right there. This might be a good play. Garen has ult, but now he has no Q. He tries to go for some damage, but Aatrox is quickly healing up this damage. Garen tries to ignite, but it's simply not enough. The CC is too great, and that's a shutdown. Really good for blue side, but Blitzcrank gets caught up. Rek'Sai goes for a W. Rakan, 2-man W. Aatrox is going crazy.
Oh, the turn.
Oh, he's on a 3-man ult. Might be able to condense this, but not enough damage.
Wait, they didn't even get the Herald off of that. That's not worth it at all. That's just straight up blue win.
Right, they just tried to get some damage, but Aatrox is in his mid game, and that is so much. Orianna ult, that was great, but it just like Orianna hasn't scaled enough, right?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, look at her. She only has her mythic. I mean, she still has a decent CS lead, and I'm pretty sure she took a couple plates. So, you know, it's not looking too bad. The fact that Ahri misses this wave is not great.
Not there to get this kill. Ahri goes for the aggressive. Can she hit her E? But Orianna just has to flash away. Rek'Sai, notably on the Rift Herald, going for that.
Why is the game paused? What's going on here?
Okay, we're back. It's like a sneaky Rift Herald, but with that Rift Herald, there's no real pressure at the beginning for drag.
Yeah, and the drag is coming up soon. Why is it like this? Sorry, I don't understand how League Spectator works exactly.
No, that's fine. And Rakan's just huddling by. He might
danger.
get picked out. That's a Q. That's a charm. Another knockup. Too much CC and Rakan gets picked out. That is really good for the blue team. Like, they get a lot of pressure on that drag because now they don't have many people to ward.
Yeah, no more wards. It means you have to face check a Blitzcrank, which is not ideal. Means that, I mean, realistically, they should just start farming on this timer, I feel. There's nothing for them to do here.
I think they're closely following that memo, looking at Orianna going to the top lane. She knows that blue team is just gonna hover around drag. Yeah,
and to Red Side's credit, second Drake isn't the worst thing to give up, especially if you got an objective on the other side of the map. That's completely fine. Orianna picked up like a crap ton of gold off of that wave. It looked like it was 3 waves stacked in one.
And we see Blitzcrank going for the kill. He might be able to get the kill, but Blitzcrank just runs away. Maokai gets the pressure on. Jinx is just poking him out, and he has to flash and Q. Oh my god, and the flash Q almost hits Garen.
That's unlucky, honestly. Blitzcrank was going in between going in and going out. You gotta choose one. You can't be in the middle.
But Garen goes for the QE. Can he survive this burst? Gets ignited. Jinx just mows him down, and there's nothing he can do.
Yeah, on the flip side, like, they had to send 3 bots for that. That means the most like one of the most important towers, the mid tier 2, is just gone.
Right.
And Shelly gets a hit off
small,
of on the tier 3 like that. That hurts
that's
a lot.
massive, right? Like
Especially since Baron's
chance
coming
to
up
open
now.
up.
Yeah, like Baron chance is coming up. Like it's not looking great. Even if you get the pick on Garen, like that's fine. It's actually a worth death for the mid tier 2.
Because it was a 2v4, right? And there's no way Aatrox and Ahri can turn that fight. And now, even worse, look, red team has the advantage, but they already are on top of Baron, and they can at least get some warding done. Blitzcrank is lagging behind.
What's not great is that the Rakan is on the map before the two other carriers, which being like Rek'Sai and Kaisa, people that can like contest vision with him. What he wants to be doing right now is to be like, he wants the mid wave to be shoved in so that he can look for vision in the topside jungle, and like you can get picks off of that. You can, if you see them like posturing around, you can like look around Baron. If you get a pick, like that just means Baron, right? Like.
This is especially great for the red team side, right? They can really take advantage of these picks. They're great at capitalizing it.
Yeah.
But I mean, they don't even try and contest for vision. As you can see, Blitzcrank is just waltzing through Baron.
I mean, if you look at the red side or the red side vision, entire top side is just dark, while blue is like, you know, their entire they have like a lot of defensive wards.
Blitzcrank whiffs the Q.
Happens, all right. Happens. Easy Qs, sometimes you miss.
Easy Q sometimes. See,
but right now they should be pushing up this mid wave and then looking for wards together.
Right now, red team is in the dark. They don't know idea what's happening at Baron.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no!
Okay.
Another whiff! Oh, go for a quick. Oh, and that ward came out successfully. Unbelievable.
Oh, this does not look good.
Oh,
where's Rek'Sai? Why is Rek'Sai not there with him?
I miss Q. That was close, but it was surprisingly convenient that they both used their speed boost at the same time. Galen goes for a little bit of damage, but I don't think either side can really hurt each other at the moment.
Aatrox is actually kind of hurting right now. What is he building? Oh, he's a cleaver. He's going. Is that Frostborn Gauntlet?
Oh,
that's Gauntlet.
Yeah, actually.
Oh,
but you know what? That makes sense. He really needs to peel for Jinx and Ahri, and at this point, his mid-game damage is quickly running out.
Yeah. Oh, Orianna looking a little bit dangerous here. Maokai actually could have ulted that. If he ulted to the left, he could have. He could have caught her with the first proc. And I don't understand, why are they looking for vision on the bot side? Oh, I guess Dragon's coming up. Yeah, that makes sense now. They waited so long that now they just have to play around drag.
Okay, now looking at it, they're just clearing out.
I don't think that red side can give another dragon, another dragon, just because like if the other team is on soul point, you're just forced to fight every single dragon now. So you want to keep options open.
I think the other thing is that like I believe with Chemtech, they get a bunch of resistances when they're at low HP. That's really good and counters their burst, right? Counters Garen, Rek'Sai, and Rakan. It makes it even harder for them to jump on people like Jinx, and especially bad if you're going against Aatrox, who needs that defense to keep sustaining himself.
Rakan, what are you doing?
Look at that pressure. Might go for a Q. Oh, come on! Oh, but there's a word right there. We might see a great battle, a great 5v5. Oh,
now they're just posturing. Hopefully they know that Aatrox is in the bot side.
Oh, and this might be a pick. No. Oh, but they have nothing.
Aatrox, that was a good E. If you eat a little bit to the right, like you would have been dead.
Right. Oh, and that's
this
too
is not
jumping,
good.
but Aatrox is so cute. Kaisa goes for a crazy. Oh, keeps the pressure up on Aatrox, but it's too much damage. He goes for a flash. Does not get the Arya in time. And then we see here Rakan going in, E-ing on 3 people. Orianna ult on 1 person. Oriana's trying to cause the pressure, gets bursted down. Jinx is trying to do as much damage. Oriana just walks up and Jinx is trying to do much damage, but that burst is crazy. Takes out Oriana, but dies in the process. And what we have left is Rakan and Kai'Sa still alive. Garen now pressuring bot lane, and Kai'Sa, and the only person left on blue team is Ahri.
Yeah,
What
I mean,
a crazy play.
Kai'Sa is the queen of cleanup. She's the she uses the mop really well.
Right.
Like, she has long range and she has mobility, or she has good burst and she has a couple moves that are long range, good mobility. Like she's great. She's great for cleanup fights like those.
Yeah. I mean, look at how she capitalized on that pick, right? She ulted almost immediately and bursted Aatrox so much that Rek'Sai could then finish him off.
Yeah. Hopefully they implement the play that I was talking about earlier. Just push in the mid wave, get the top side vision, and go for Baron. You have the security of having second Drake now, and it's completely fine if you give another Drake if it's for Baron.
Right, and it seems like they seem to be doing that well. Look, Rakan's going on, but not very well protected, but he's still causing pressure. And now everyone's hovering on the top lane side. It's really not looking good for blue at the moment. I mean, look at this ward dominance, right? They have all the pressure, except for that one ward up in Baron.
They need to start, they need to start warding their jungle entrances more. I mean, there's one, but they maybe should go for a ward in that upper bush over there.
And we see Maokai trying to cause some pressure. Rakan hits him with the W, but no loose.
Rakan.
It's Eid. Maokai goes for a W, might be going in, but can he use the phase rush? Blitzcrank hits with the QE, goes for more damage. Aatrox is going in really quickly. Can he use a flash Q? Tries to go for the damage, but Rakan W's out and misses the W. Oh, he misses her E. Another Q. QE. Can Garen die from this? Garen tries to burst up Maokai, but now he's lost everything. He can't do enough damage. He tries ult, dies horrifically. Blitzcrank whiffs the kill, but the W is crazy. The flash ult E by Blitzcrank gets another pick on Oriana. No. And now
my question is, where the hell was the jungler the entire time? Where was Forrest?
Where is our jungler?
Yeah, I know. He was just clearing blue buff the entire time. Like, bro, there's no play on the left side of the map. There's no farming. There's just a Baron coming up. 1,000,000% there's a Baron coming up.
What a brutal. That was like, why wasn't the whole red team coordinated?
Blue side doesn't look for a Baron here, even with Blitzcrank?
I think they're just trying to cause pressure. You see Maokai pushing on the top lane. And then oh my god, and a power play.
Great stopwatch.
Can Rek'Sai even escape with this? She gets hit. Oh, the burst. Rakan tries to save him, but not enough. And all that's left is Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa's trying to cause some pressure, but it's simply not enough. I mean, it's 1 against 4. She has ult, but can she really make this 1v4? And now they're going for blue. Just another pick.
Yeah, I mean, jungler's dead. 100% Baron. There's no way. There's no way this gets stolen. If Kai'Sa W steals this, I think I'll shave my head.
Oh, but Oriana's coming up. She might be going for a play. But Blitzcrank, look at that. He might be trying to stop them.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it takes it. Oriana tries to go flash.
We're good.
Blitzcrank tries to go in, but dies by Kai'Sa. Garen goes in, maybe trying to go for a pick. He might be trying to go for an ult. I know he has his ult up. Oriana already used ult, but she tries to cause a lot of damage. Takes out Maokai.
It's alright. The gold swung onto the blue side. Swung back to the blue side at least, but
it's only about a 300 gold difference. To be fair, for as bad as that situation got, red team really capitalized on them running away and got 2 picks out, right? So all in all, is it really looking that bad?
It's back to an even game. Like it's not the worst situation that red could be in.
And look, red team might be able to get this tier 2 plating as well, but Ahri with that pushing power.
See, I don't understand. Aatrox should not be going top right now, I don't think. Like, he has no TP.
They queuing each other. Rek'Sai goes in, but he gets hit by the trap. Oriana is taking massive damage. Kai'Sa's going in for the boost. And goes for the Zonians, but she can't come any closer because Jinx and Blitzcrank are coming up. Kai'Sa gets caught out, tries to heal, but dies. A massive shutdown, 950 gold. Can he get the kill?
Oh, Kai'Sa could have lived, I think, if she just walked away.
Right. I think she when she saw the Ori Zonia, she hesitated for a bit. She was like,
Yeah.
maybe I can get this kill.
Blue side's gonna have the vision advantage on the way back because you know Rakan right now he's just sitting on wards, but he didn't ward out, or he didn't ward when he came out of the fight.
Right. And now look, top lane put all its pressure out. He can recall pretty safely.
Yeah, he also has TP coming up for this Drake, so it should be. This Drake should go the way of blue if they play it correctly. Even now, like the Rek'Sai, she's clearing her top side while the dragon's up. I mean, yeah.
An uncontested blue, an uncontested dragon. Unfortunate. I think this could have been contested, to be honest, but they're just. I don't know why they didn't do anything about it.
Yeah, if they didn't want to, I guess. They weren't feeling it. No, the vibes weren't right.
They didn't want it.
The vibes were not right.
But regardless, a relatively even game, to be honest. 30 minutes in, it's still even. Oh, and they're finally putting in pressure with that Baron. Orianna might be going for a play, but she gets stuck by Jinx. Jinx tries to burst him down, but now she has nothing to use. No heal. Kaiser goes for the all-in, gets a free kill. Maokai tries to go in, but Orianna ults, and that should be another kill for Kaiser. Oh, damn, but Maokai is so
Maokai should
incredibly
die
tanky.
here.
Rakan can go for an EW. Maokai tries to go for a kill, but it's just not enough. Kaiser secures a... Orianna gets another kill. What a good play on capitalizing Orianna's mistake.
Good shit. I mean, stuff.
How many times have you fumbled?
Look, all right. I'm so used to it. I'm not. I don't want. I'm not used to this.
Let's crank. Can Let's Crank steal blue? Okay.
You stole it? How?
Yeah,
What?
I mean,
What's going on here?
it isn't game changing.
That's game changing right there. That's tilting. If I was Garen, I would immediately flash on that guy.
Let's see the scoreboard real quick. I want
Gotcha.
to see the builds coming up.
Navori quick blades on Kaisa. That's a weird one.
God. But you know that used to be meta, right?
Yeah, no, it used to be. Yeah, but
And especially
Winsus is just
relevant-
too good now. I don't know.
I'm surprised that she doesn't want to build Ginsu's, right?
You know, yeah, no, there's 3 tanky targets to build Gwynsus on. Like, it's just
Like she can do so much stopping power. But to be fair with Navori, Kaiser can get her E a lot and she can spam that. So she's really good with kiting.
yeah. I mean, but the thing is that like, yeah, she can kite, but can she really dish out the damage that well with Navori?
That's a fair point. And then, you know,
I expect her last item to be Tiamat if she's going for Runans like this. They just synergize way too well together, and especially since
Kaiser can definitely use that survivability, especially if she's ulting in immediately, right? I think what's also interesting is that Jinx build. I mean, Bloodthirster, right?
Wait, didn't she have an IE? Am I crazy? Was that last game? I think
I
no,
know.
I think that was last game. I was like,
Oh, no, that was last
when did she sell?
She decided let me lose this game. And when we see some pressure, red team is absolutely putting the pressure with the ward gameplay. I mean, Blitzcrank, what is he gonna do? I mean,
Yeah,
except
another
ward.
reason why I don't like the Kaisa Navori is that you can see here the tanks are all building like a shit ton of armor. Sorry, a lot of armor, and with Gwynsu's like just half her damage will be turned into magic damage. Like it's such a good counter to just a lot of armor. You know what I mean?
And especially because it's huge tanks. Like Aatrox built tank, it's Maokai and it's Blitzcrank. She can literally just stand there and auto attack, right? Is there really a need to kite around?
None at all, honestly.
Can we see some mishaps happening? We see a little bit of damage. Orianna trying to cause some pressure, but Aatrox
Red team just going straight for the Baron.
Red team is just going on Baron, uncontested by blue team. I mean, red team has literally no warding on them. Decide to disengage, go in. Oh my god, that was crazy. They go for a fight. Maokai ults in. They try and play play. Jinx is uncontested. He's trying to do a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. But Rakan hits him with a W. Garen tries to go for a kill.
The
Kai'Sa
Kai'Sa is huge.
Kai'Sa does so much damage. But Jinx is pulling up and doing so much damage, but dies. Kai'Sa gets a lot of damage in. Garen is pulling in and gets a massive lead as a result.
And the Runan spy is huge. Like, they were just stacked on top of each other, and like she was just free hitting 3 people all at once with her passive up, which deals percent max or percent missing HP.
Right, and not only that, I mean, Rakan hit him with the W, Garen flash E, so much things to worry about in that chaos. You can't pay attention to Kai'Sa just DPSing you from afar.
Dragon, actually, yeah, it's just free for red side too. They're put on soul point. Next dragon is gonna be the decider who has soul.
It doesn't make sense to me why blue team decided to disengage from Baron. Like, the pressure was definitely there.
I mean, I also feel like if you're gonna fight, then fight. But you didn't even have to fight there because the dragon was coming. You could have just traded soul for Baron.
Right, they could have traded, but instead they decided to fight after they got Baron. So worst.
Yeah, they just got the worst of both worlds. Yeah.
And now it's not looking for good for blue team. Worse yet, I mean, Jinx doesn't even have her LDR yet, while Kai'Sa is now full build.
Yeah. I actually went for a GA, which I guess that also is a good option, because if she dies, like, the fight is really hard to fight after that, because most of the damage that came out of that team fight was just Kai'Sa.
Right, like Rek'Sai, Garen, like they've scaled down at this point.
I need to use this team fight mode more, like this. You see that?
I didn't even know there was a team fight mode.
Yeah. Shoot, we could have seen her damage if we if I did that.
Okay, and the pressure is on. You see Garen pressuring down in the bot lane. Kai'Sa slowly pushing up on the top. I mean, this might be another 1-3-1.
Yeah, or a 3-1-1 if they're just, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's no reason for 3 people to be pressuring mid because they got the mid inhib, so they should look for a 4-1 here. I don't know where Rek'Sai is. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? You should not be there.
Oh, and they're trying to go in for a fight with the Black Cleaver. Oh, and a pick takes out Kai'Sa. Power play by the Blitzcrank. Can Kai'Sa get out of this fight? Goes for the quick push. That's a kill, but Oriana hits him with the he almost gets Ollie. Almost gets hooked by the Blitzcrank. Aatrox might be going for the play. He gets over a Q. Garen tries to go in. Rakan goes for an all-in. And only hits one target so far. He has to disengage. Rek'Sai tries to go in. He literally doesn't even unburrow. Free pick by them. Unbelievable. And Jinx is rocketing towards them.
Yeah, again, Rek'Sai is late to both plays with Garen. Right. Like they were, the Maokai and the Aatrox were posturing around Garen, and obviously the Garen got the disengage off. But like, as a tip, like as a jungler, you should never be farming like your camps when your team is all the way in their rectums, as they say.
As one intellectual might say. Yeah, but I mean, red team fumbled.
Yeah.
Red team threw with that Kai'Sa pick. And Maokai goes for a flash. Oh, they might be going in. Rakan gets CC. Can he even W out? And that's another kill.
Oh, he lives.
Maybe not. He flashes and E's out. This might be a good turnaround. I mean, Oriana is pressuring up. She got the phaser. She might be able to ult in. Jinx slows him with the W, though.
It was actually not a great play by the Maokai. I mean, if Maokai didn't do that, they would have the inhib as well, and that's a lot of pressure, especially with the last dragon coming up. Like, mid inhib is extremely important.
I don't know why Maokai did a flash ult, because I mean, it's not instant. Like, it's still pretty telegraphed.
Look, the vibes were just right. All right, the vibes were good.
He wanted to end that game then.
He was feeling the vibes, you know?
Oh my god. This game is so incredibly back and forth. This game is intense.
Yeah, it literally is just a fist fight.
Right. It's just back and forth picks. I mean, we were making comments before that the Blitzcrank didn't make sense, but I'm gonna keep on 100. Blitzcrank is winning this game with that pick on Kaiser. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, his hooks do change games. It's just if you can land them or not. Will that chance ever come up again? Did Kaisa sell her GA? She did not. That's kind of disappointing in my opinion. Let's see how much gold she has. Yeah, she would have enough gold for another item if she just sold it.
Maybe like.
Yeah.
It seems like. Oh,
Are they trading Soul for Baron? There's no way.
I don't know. I mean, look, blue team really needs this. Really needs that soul. And I mean, they've already done relatively well against Baron play already.
Blue team's vision is posturing like on the side of Dragon, while red team is, I mean, they have vision just in the river. It's pretty nice.
It seems like intentions are well, but they're getting outpushed by Jinx. Jinx is at her late game stage.
Yeah.
Jinx is scary.
I want blue side. Oh, the hook on the Kaisa.
Pick! And Kaisa is forced to flash W and heal and ult.
Oh, the Ahri should have been ready for that. The Ahri should have instantly ulted, charmed, anything just to kill the Kaisa. That just wins the game on the spot.
Exactly, because that was
the Blitzcrank.
Longest Victor stops. Garen tries to cause damage. Kaisa goes in and tries to do a lot of damage. And the pressure's on. Always trying to pressure up. Rek'Sai is trying to do as much damage. Ults in this fight. Maokai versus Jinx. Kaisa just pressures and kills Jinx.
Yeah.
Jinx can't do anything.
Red side ADC is still up.
3v3. Aatrox is still alive. Always the main damage dealer. If they can get a pick, Kaisa has no flash, no heal. If Ahri hits 1E, this game is over. It is still a 3v3. Look how scattered it is. No, it's a 4v3. And Blitzcrank goes, can he hit the hook? No!
So close. So close.
Oh my god.
The dragon should go to red side though, because the jungler is dead. Like this should be easy dragon.
Right. And
nothing should happen
Kaisa's
here.
causing a lot of pressure. Garen goes in.
This is a Garen losing a moment right here.
Kaisa hits his W because Kaisa have ult.
Blitzcrank is dead.
Blitzcrank tries to make another play.
They could transition to Baron here if they just go right now with the Kaisa and Rek'Sai. Kaisa just Baron so fast.
They should be going now as they're recalling.
Yeah, they're recalling. It's all right. It happens.
Oh my god. I mean, Blitzcrank was trying his darndest, okay?
Yeah.
But it just not enough follow-up. I need to see more REEs.
I want to see red team just sit in the bush and wait to end the game. I mean, they could take the Baron too. If no one's running up, really. Jinx is going bot lane.
I think they just can't. They can't contest. I mean, they already have all the wood vision. They're winning by already being in Baron, and this red team jumps on those opportunities. And now they're still keeping up with the pressure.
Oh,
Garen goes in with the bomb.
Someone should be dead here.
QE. Maokai is stuck up on the top lane. He is going to die, but look at Kaisa. He's stuck on the back. Maokai has to like try and cause pressure, and just easily dies. But the good news is that Maokai is trying to waste as much time as he can. Dies again.
Yeah, a good thing is that they can't end on Maokai's death at the moment because midwave got pushed in by, I believe, Ahri or Jinx. I wasn't looking very closely, but yeah, they don't have too many waves close to them pushed in, so they can't really look for, you know, a continuation play, like a tempo play, if that makes sense.
Oh, but they're keeping up the pressure. This is really scary.
They should give this inhib.
They have to. It's a 3v4, and I mean, Jinx can do stuff, but look at that Orianna. She's hovering. Oh, and that Jinx damage. Jinx E is great, but it's just simply not enough.
Yeah, I like this. They're playing around topside turret now.
Oh,
if they get the topside turret, if they just 4-1, this is fine. Yeah, Orianna stay mid lane. 4-1 topside. What is Rek'Sai doing? Rek'Sai, why are you there?
Garen's just trying to cause the pressure, keep the Baron up. Jinx is, oh my god, look at that W damage by Kaisa onto Jinx. I mean, that's not good. Like, Jinx has no self-defensive capabilities on her. She's just all offense, which is not good.
Another thing that's not really great is that their waves are out of sync. You see that this wave at top lane right now is coming in, while this wave mid lane is coming in at, like probably around 10 seconds after.
Yeah.
You want them to be coming in at the same time, just so like it's a two-pronged attack, right? Like you want them to be pushing at the same time so that they it's the most amount of pressure possible.
Exactly. Otherwise, it's just a useless Baron. Look how little they've used the Baron. They've taken a tower, yes, but otherwise, not much else. They've literally had to disengage from that. And now interesting to note though is that Kai'Sa interestingly now has Static Shiv. I'm not sure exactly how relevant that is. The other thing I'm surprised about is, well, I'm surprised Jinx doesn't have something like GA, right? Why does she have Bloodthirster? That's my question. When we see some pressure, Kai'Sa's trying to do some Garen. Garen goes for an all-in, tries to do enough damage, but Jinx stops him with his E. They're going in. Blitzcrank goes for an E. Ult, silence, but the shield is too high. They simply can't push. Kai'Sa is just too sublime. Jinx can't do anything. She dies. This game is over. All just trying to keep pressure against Maokai, but Rek'Sai and Orion are just too much for them. Maokai's trying to do as much as he can, but it's too late already. It is a 4v1. Takes out Ollie, takes out the Orion, but it's too late. The base is being opened up. This game is over.
I mean, that's the game end there.
And that's game for today. Tomorrow we're gonna see the losers, and finally in the grand finals, we'll see who truly dominates.
Kai'Sa really showed up. Why did she buy a Static Shiv? I don't understand.
It doesn't even matter at this point. I'm assuming she sold it just to replace GA. But look at those numbers, man. I mean, Jinx tried. She really did. I mean, she changed the build continuously as the game went on, but just wasn't enough.
I think that's it for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's 5.
Alright, I want to stop my stream.